are.
We're
We're
here?
back again. We're live
Oh,
and full
man.
effect. We're going in deep inside the Walk Good business, baby. Chapter 7. And what does Chapter 7 got for you, folks? Ooh, the influence of the spiritual.
Entrepreneurial spirit.
There you go.
Entrepreneurial spirit. Man.
Entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, that spirit channel through you.
Yeah.
Man. You know, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, like
We were just kind of like talking about, just chit-chatting here about everything starts from one, right? So you got to start from somewhere. There's nobody that is good at something right away because you have to start from somewhere. As long as you can allow yourself to understand that, you're good, right? So it's a beautiful thing when you can start from one. It's just like exercising or anything.
well, I mean, like, why did Steve Jobs want to make the iPhone 1? Like, why didn't he just start with the iPhone 16? Right? So where did the idea for iPhone 1 come from? Where did the idea come from?
I'm guessing it's from a problem, and then he was just frustrated with something, and then he said like, okay, well, I want the phone to work differently. But from his mind, that's for sure.
Yeah, because like back then, like you had like a phone that was connected to a cord,
That's right.
Mhm.
or like they started coming out with like mobile phones and stuff like that. Like I remember we had a
Yeah.
phone like in our car, you know. and
Oh
it's
man,
like,
don't
Yes.
even say that, bro.
remember the car phone?
Oh wow, you know what? I was a
That was
perpetrator
luxury
when I was
before.
younger,
Yeah.
because in my car I installed a handset like a phone inside my car. Then I had them little TV, black and white.
Nice.
I put that in my car too. But the funny thing is that when I was in school, you have the desk where it kind of lifts up.
Oh right.
I wish that I had like a little TV
Mm-hmm.
in there so I can watch TV,
Yeah.
or like a watch. But I was way beyond my thinking. So
But like that's the thing is like, you know, we're all connected,
yeah,
right? And like that's what you got to remember is like we're all energy, we're all connected, we're all from
Yep.
the same source.
yeah,
And so like you had that idea.
yeah, I did.
Somebody else had the same idea.
Yeah,
Somebody else had the same idea. Like all of these, and nobody said it.
yeah,
You know, it wasn't like, you know, like you all got together and, hey, I had this idea.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden Steve Jobs was like, fuck it, I got the money to do it, so I'm going to do it. He made iPhone 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like,
Darn it.
that's my fucking idea,
Yeah,
man. You know?
because I was in junior high at the time, and I still have that TV to this day. And I had it in my car, right? My mom had it, and yeah, I still have that little black and white TV that I installed inside of my car.
Dude.
And then I took the handset from the phone and I connected to the speakers. So while I'm driving down the street, perpetrating, I was perpetrating. That's what the handheld phone, And so one of my schoolmate came and she was like, "Wow, you got a phone in your car?" I said, "Of
You're like,
course I have a phone in my car.
of course I do.
I have a big old Plymouth." Right, the Plymouth car.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
A hoopty.
yeah, hoopty, right? She goes, "Can I use?" I say, "You kidding me? You know how much it costs to make a phone call?"
That's how he played it off.
That's how I-
So he never used it. I
I
got
know-
it, but I don't use it.
But here's
It's
the funny-
expensive,
but here's
man.
the funny thing. She goes, "Oh, it doesn't work." Are you doubting me that it doesn't work? So, but because I had it hooked up to the stereo and stuff, when you pick it up, you can hear that sound.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh! She says, I said, "Yeah, but what do you think I was playing around?" So my mind was already thinking way before they even came up with
Yeah.
the car phone inside the
Totally.
phone. Now you look at it. Now we have the
Bluetooth.
TV screen inside the back of a van, or now on the cars you have that dashboard
Yeah,
screen. I'm going
for
like
sure.
I was thinking way ahead.
Yeah.
But I never.
So you
acted.
had the idea, but I have
Yeah.
a question then.
Yeah.
Like how bad you wanted to, because I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah.
just out of the blue, what I would love to see is flying motorcycle.
Yeah.
But how bad do I want it?
Right.
Like I'm gonna put like 24 hours. I'm just thinking about like flying motorcycle,
Mhm.
but someone else will do it.
No, I mean,
That's
like
100%.
Honda, like they already said, like they're working on stuff like that, right?
Mm.
Like so. I mean, how much are they dumping into it? You know, it's
Yeah.
like you're gonna come with your budget of,
50 cents.
of like a few hundred G's or whatever. Well, Honda's trying to do it with hundreds of millions and they still can't do it, right? And
Mhm.
like, so it's just like, okay, well, maybe that's not a great idea. And like, so that's all it was. Like, it was like part of like, you know, hey, this would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it, you know, but like the concept was there. And so since we're all connected, that concept went from Delroy to you to somewhere to Elon to,
Mhm.
you know, it all floats around, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
cause like that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to get to is like, where do ideas come from? You know, it's like, so, you know, it's like, so I think you went to like inspiration, you know, like I was asking, where does an idea come from? You're
Mm-hmm.
like, you were thinking like, oh, where does inspiration come from? Inspiration comes from like what you were saying is like frustration,
Yeah.
or like, you know, like, wouldn't it be cool? Like those are inspired thoughts, you know, but an idea, a fresh new idea where like people will say, oh, I just had an idea pop into my
Yeah.
head.
So where do
Mhm.
you get it from?
Where does it come from? You know?
Because you didn't have the idea at first, but all of a sudden,
It definitely doesn't come like it's from my mind, but I'm thinking like, where'd that come from? Let's say I'm driving and then I have a fucking good idea.
Yeah.
I'm driving
Uh-huh.
and like, I don't know, like I have a client is asking me for something. It's literally impossible. Not impossible, but
You're like,
no one know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm driving. I'm thinking, oh
Ooh.
shit, wait.
I
Wait.
got it.
I think I know.
yeah.
I think I know. So where did that come from?
Yeah.
I feel like it's something like the feeling.
Yeah.
I feel it's not here. It's not on me. You know what I mean? It's like I don't feel like, oh wait, I have an idea. I feel like it's something like way bigger than me and just like thinking like,
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
bigger than you.
wait, one second. Sometimes I even have to pull out my car
Yeah.
because I'm thinking, okay, there's too much thing going on. Let me pull up the car, turn off my phone. Okay, what's going? So it's not here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's somewhere.
So like they call it universal intelligence. Okay? Like you can tap into universal intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, you know, you're a very artistic type of guy. So it probably happens with you quite a lot, you
Mhm.
know, because of like kind of artistic mind works a little
Mhm.
differently. We got a
Yeah.
spiritual guy over here. And so he's much more connected, you know, because of that direct connection to spirituality, right? And like, so that just shows you, whereas if you have someone like that's just like really in the physical world,
Yeah.
and just like thinking numbers and business and like that, they're just grounded in physical reality, it's very difficult for them to have an independent idea, a new concept pop into their mind because of that disconnect
Mhm.
with universal intelligence.
You got to connect. You got to
But,
connect.
but there's still the ID will come over.
Not likely for
Like
like
if
like say like the accountant, you know,
Yeah.
like
Like just numbers.
I'm thinking someone that's an accountant,
Okay.
like they're not coming up with like artistic concepts, you know what I mean? Like they're not thinking, hey man, like I got a new song, like
Yeah,
I can like, because like that's their channel that they're on, right? Now, can they move? Yeah, of course,
course,
they
yeah.
can move, but like they have to be able to let go of physical reality, and that's a tough one for specifically like an engineer or an accountant or something like that. Like they're so grounded in
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
physical reality that concept
Oh,
of like,
that-
what do you mean spiritual connection? What do you mean universal intent? Like that's fooey patooey. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, you know. So like that's the thing is like, so it's a blessing when you have that connection and you have these creative ideas come to you, right?
Mhm.
And like what Delroy had, you know,
and it's
like-
true because we have talked about this in a few chapters back where I mentioned about writing a song, and I have no idea where the song is gonna go, no idea whatsoever, but yet all of a sudden everything just flows down and I understood everything. It's like someone actually handed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
The lyrics are right on
Mhm.
par. Everything just fits just perfectly. And I'm going, okay. But I was struggling with it for a minute. But all of a sudden, I tapped into it and it just, and I wrote the song and it's like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah.
and you felt it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
felt it like honestly, like even writing this book, like you just feel it coming through you and your hands are moving
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, who's controlling my hands
Yeah.
right
It's
now?
weird, man.
Like,
but not weird, you know.
Yeah.
like
You know.
it can freak people out if that's like their first time feeling
Experience that.
that flow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're like, man, like I felt so weird, and
Yeah.
you know, but like once you become used
To
to
it,
it,
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of taking over,
hmm
you're like, yeah, it's kind of like you are a puppet essentially.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's like it's a good thing, but people kind of get freaked out a little bit, and they're like, you know, like,
Yeah, because they don't understand it. Where you know, all of a sudden this thing is popping. I'm used to it, so I've learned to accept it when it comes. So I know where it's coming from. It's coming from a good place. But I'm saying thank you because I was struggling with that song to come up with the lyrics. But all of a sudden it's like it opened up and gave me from start to end with the song. Because I remember in the band we were writing a song, and it's called "It's Not Your Fault." It's just the way it is. And both myself and the other singer was writing the song. And yeah, I went home and all of a sudden it just everything came to me. So when we went back to rehearsal, um, you know, we were trying it out, and my other partner was singing part of the song, and then I said, yeah, I wrote for the song as well too, and they said, okay, let's hear it. And I swear, when I sang the whole entire thing from the top to the bottom, they all just stopped and went, "We're gonna go with that one."
Okay.
But that was a gift that was given to me. That I wrote that song like very fast, and it was different.
Yeah.
I challenged myself. It wasn't the normal way how I'd write. But yeah, they just said like, "We're gonna go with that song." But it was a gift.
And that's, yeah, like again, it's like the different levels
Yeah.
of spiritual connection,
Yeah.
or ability to, let's not say spiritual connection, let's just say like ability to tap into intelligence that is outside of your body,
Mhm.
outside of your brain, because you're like, well, I don't know where that idea came from, and it's like, it's because you tapped into it, man. And it's like, it's
Mhm.
pretty cool once you learn how to harness it.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But it could be also very difficult for someone that is not spiritual and religious at the same time, but is pretty, let's say, successful or
Well, that's where the
it's pretty
ego
good.
starts to kick in. You know, it's like, where did you get the idea? I came up with the idea.
No, you didn't.
Mhm.
Oh, really? Like, it was your concept? Yeah. I thought of it myself. You know, I did everything.
Mhm.
It was all me. You know, and it's like, oh man, you're amazing.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, I know, I'm amazing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's just like, okay, good stuff, man.
You gotta watch for the ego, because yeah. that's
You
a-
feel like this is really the ego that is kicking?
100%, man. It was like because I mean, like, it's like the fault of humanity, right?
Yeah.
It is like the ego, you know, and like it should be like a journey throughout your lifetime, is trying to, you know, bring that ego down,
Yeah,
right?
you got to push him down, because everything that we do is a connection of someone that has helped us along the way with an idea, whatever. I am who I am not by myself, but by the people who have transferred information to me. So I cannot take credit to what I do, and I tell people all the time. I thank my mom and my grandma for first instilling that in me, right? That's easy for me now to transfer that to other people, but it was a gift that was given to me, right? So, you know, it's
Yeah, so like when you were driving, you know, and like you had that idea come in, like, because like you're still thinking critically. Like, I'm not trying to take away from our ability that we've been given to critically think about things,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So you were thinking critically, you know, but then what happened was, bam, like
Mhm.
when you needed something, it clicks, you know. It's like, so, and like that's what they say about, like, you know, once you can really buy into this,
harness it, yeah.
okay, is when you have a goal that you're looking to achieve, or like you're just trying to solve a problem. So like that's a
Mhm.
goal,
Mhm.
right? Is everything and everyone will come into your path
Path,
at the
yep.
right time.
Yes.
That's a hard one to accept, because like at that moment you needed that concept.
hmm
So everyone and everything is an idea, right? Will come into your life at exactly the right moment. And so you're like, I need to solve this problem.
hmm
And guess what? You sat there, you're like, I got it.
Mm-hmm. So it goes like but what you're saying is like the idea coming to the frustration time frame, but sometimes it's not even from frustration. Let's say what I notice is if I'm frustrated, I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, like those
Yeah.
days, there's just
Yeah.
like mad. That I just like turn off my phone. It's
Yeah.
too much shit going on.
Yeah.
I'm driving, it's just like, bro,
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
too much, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just like, you know what? Fuck everything. I don't care. Let me call that client. I
Mhm.
can do it. Never mind. I
Yeah.
don't care. So I'm driving. There's no way that an idea will come over. I feel like I create a block.
Right. Right.
know,
For
I
the
create a
negative.
block.
Yeah. Right. And
Then when
negative.
I'm like more open,
Yes.
it's like, hey,
So like
Why
they,
don't
they,
if I
they
do
call
that,
it
you know?
they call that like the transmutation of energy,
Hmm.
right? So again, like go back to Napoleon Hill's
Mhm.
classic book, and like this is a chapter that not many people really talk about. It's like the transmutation of sexual energy.
right.
Napoleon Hill, like think of
Mhm.
like this 90-year-old man wrote that chapter.
Yeah,
Oh, he was
yeah.
90 years old.
Or well, I don't know
Oh, I
how
didn't know.
old he was, but like
Okay.
when I look up Napoleon Hill, like
Right.
he's like this old man, and like
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
wow, he was talking about the transmutation of sexual energy, and you're like, the fuck does that mean?
Mhm.
And so we'll explain it right now. Is like, so you're transmuting anger, right, and frustration, right? It's like, so you can either let it physically manifest,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the reason why you need to take time to go. Because when you decide to go, okay, forget it, I don't even want to bother with it. Now you've allowed yourself to go, okay, to think and to breathe. And all of a sudden, it popped up and showed up. Right?
If you
You know.
give it that time, like,
Yeah.
but if you put up that block where you're angry and frustrated, yeah, you're right, it won't come in
Yeah.
because you're not transmuting that energy.
You're not
You're
open.
sticking in that angry
Mhm.
frustration, and that's your whole aura, your whole energy
At that
system
time. Yeah.
is blocked,
Mhm.
right? And so until you can get out of that, then you can let things flow into your life.
Yeah. To come and serve you for solving a problem. Right? To solve that problem that you were looking for an answer to solve that problem. Right? But because as soon as you get angry, you're right, you're blocking it. So why people meditate? To just
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be open to it. And if you're not open, then it's not gonna come. Because the atmosphere is not welcoming. It's full of frustration.
But
So-
if I follow you, what you're saying is I always have to. So let's say there's a solution.
yeah.
Okay, this is me,
Hmm.
and let's say this is the problem
Yeah.
on the middle. So to get the solution, I always have to come outside of my body,
That's right.
right? Like I'm sending energy,
It's energy.
and then it's coming back
Hmm.
to get the solution.
Yeah.
But what if someone is not believing in energy and like someone spiritual or so? I guess it doesn't really matter if you believe or not. This is how it works.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't change it. It doesn't need you. You need it more.
Yeah.
You just have to like think of it as like a TV and a satellite. That's
Yeah.
essentially what we are. Is like we're sending and receiving satellite, right? It's like, so we're sending our energy and our thoughts into the universe, and the universe is also sending information to us. Like we're transmitting. You know, like our brains are transmitters.
Mhm.
You know, and so like that's the thing is like there's a lot of complex stuff to this that we don't need to really get into, but like we're just trying to say is like, yeah, man, is like you should have that connection is
Yeah.
like, so and you need to honor that, you know, the idea, the concept that you came up with came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like the minute that you start to say like, yeah, I came up with
I
this
came up with it.
idea, you know, then it's all ego.
Mr. Ego.
And that's a destructive path.
So the ego is the blocker through.
Ooh, the ego, man.
Ooh,
That's
boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That can really it's a path of it's a destructive path, because like if you start at the origin of an idea or a concept and you say I
Right.
came up with it,
Mhm.
then as you become successful, you know, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna share things with others? Are you gonna get your Lamborghini and shit like that. You know,
Mhm.
of course you are, man. Like you're like, well, I did it, so I made this money.
No, you didn't.
I deserve this,
No, you didn't.
and it's like, really? Are you sure?
Yeah, you're forgetting the number one lesson. It's a bunch of things, ideas, people that connect you to get to where you need to get to. You cannot take the credit and says, I did it by myself. Like I said, I am who I am because of the people that invested in me, believed in me, and transferred things to me. So whenever I speak on that, I give credit to them to say, thank you. I'm glad that you are put in my life to guide me and to teach me and to give me things. I can't go and say my work ethic and the way that I do things is I did it. No, because I learned that from a younger age. You know, I remember my grandmother, when we used to come home from school, we had to do chores while other kids are out playing. So, well, why can't we be playing?
Mhm.
See, but what she was doing was giving us the skills that we could play later, but we have to learn how to do the work now. So I am grateful for that because now I can play later because it doesn't matter what. When it comes on to doing work and being disciplined about it, I'm disciplined. Don't mess around when it comes on to work. My saying is that I'm not afraid of work. Work is afraid of me. When work sees me coming,
Yeah.
work runs and
It
hides.
starts
And says, here
hiding.
comes that Jamaican again. I better run and hide.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to search you out. I'm going to find you. See, I'm not afraid of work. So when people come and make all kinds of excuses or whatever, yo, come on, let's go. Let's go. You want to come in my camp? Let's go. The reason why things are not happening to you because you're not putting anything in.
Well,
Right?
I mean, again, you're starting to talk about that
Oh,
our word
like, let me
responsibility.
Let me
You know,
back up.
like I mean, like that's a different topic altogether. Is responsibility.
Yeah.
But like what we're trying to get in today is like it's like okay, well, where do ideas come from? You know, as like again, you know, an idea comes from up there. Inspiration comes from around you,
Mhm.
right? It's like so like you got to define the two.
Yeah.
Inspiration is one thing.
Mhm.
Idea is a totally different thing, right? But like the inspiration is a wonderful thing. Is like and like
Mhm.
coming out of frustration.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like honestly, like that's where a lot of inventions come from. Is people are just like, well, this thing sucks. I'm gonna make a better one.
Yep.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you've heard like let's make a better mousetrap,
Yeah.
right? Like this mousetrap, like it
Mhm.
snapped on my finger. It didn't snap on the mouse.
Hmm.
And then someone's like, oh, why don't we just make a box?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Mhm.
Right. And so, like, the dude that had the snap one is out of business, and the
Mhm.
dude with the box is now in business.
Mhm.
But I'm sure there's someone
Somebody's
else
gotta
like,
take a- say it.
well, why don't we make a wheel or something?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Someone is always looking to improve it, to solve the problem. And as we move forward, things change. So we have to change that formula to fit as we move forward, right? Like just like policies, they can't stay the same. Policies have to change as we change and evolve. We have to change those policies
Mhm.
to be in line with.
Well, I mean, like, I think like what we often talk about it is like is the value that you're receiving for whatever you're buying,
Yeah.
right? Is like so like again, like this is just part of the conversation is like because the book is all about balancing
Balance it. Yeah.
value and
Yeah.
profitability, right? It's
Mhm.
like you're entitled to make money
Absolutely.
for sure, you know, but you also need to give value to the customer, right?
Yeah.
And like so that's where like you know a story throughout this book is about bakery making like these big long baguettes, right? I'm sure in France baguettes are very
Oh
common,
yeah,
right?
I've seen them with baguettes
You
on the
know?
street, man. Oh yeah, they have their baguette and
We
they
can
sit
live
there eating
without it,
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So like baguettes are common in France?
Oh yeah,
Like,
buddy.
there's no way that you will find like a table without bread.
Really?
There's no freaking way. Like a lot of bakery, they open like 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, so 5 a.m. you go over there.
Can you tell
Uh-huh.
the difference? Like, cause like I don't think we eat that much bread over here, you know.
It's not the same bread.
No,
it's
it's
industrial bread.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, is like, can you tell the difference between like different bakeries and be like, oh yeah, that one's really.
1000%.
Can you?
Just by the sound, actually, I can even tell you. By
Really?
the smell of it.
The
Wow.
smell.
The smell of it,
Wow.
the salt that they put in, it's completely different.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they love their baguettes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was in disbelief. This guy has his baguette walking down the street and he's not eating. I'm
That's
going,
amazing.
oh, that's pretty cool.
It makes me want to do
Yeah.
that over here, man.
Yeah.
Like, it look weird
mean,
over here,
it's
man.
I was
nothing weird
outside
about
like
it, right?
when I was just like a month and a half ago. I went there with my wife, and then she could not believe like how people they always like eating bread everywhere.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
stop at the supermarket,
Yeah.
you buy a baguette
yep,
at the bakery,
yeah. I saw it was.
and you just do it yourself. You go
Mhm.
buy some like sardine with tomato.
Yep,
You just open it.
yep, and put
She
it
was
in.
like,
Yeah,
what is that? Then,
Yeah.
but when she tasted, she was like, "This is so good."
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
And she's Asian. She don't eat bread at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loved it. So yes, it's a big thing.
yeah. It is. It is a big thing. Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
so that's like, so it's funny, like, so I wrote Noah into this book without knowing
Yes.
about Noah
That's right.
because I wrote about a baguette. I don't know.
Yep.
I rarely buy bread, man, but like, let alone a baguette.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing, bro. It's
But
a
I
real
was just
thing.
like,
I
it's-
saw it with
it
my
is a
own
real thing.
eyes when I was in France. I saw it.
But like the thing
Yeah.
is like, so like if there's one bakery in your town
Mm-hmm.
that makes baguettes and they're like, yeah, these are pretty good, right? You know, and they continue to increase the price, you know, and like the bread kind of doesn't taste very good.
Mhm.
I mean, there's something inside of you that is kind of like, there's got to be something better out there, you
Yeah.
know? And so like, that's part of this story in this chapter is about the girl that actually just says, you know what, I can make bread.
Mhm.
I'm going to start to make my own.
Mm.
So again, is like, was that an idea or was that inspiration?
Inspired.
So it's inspired,
Mhm.
you know, it's inspired. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, you know, she tapped into
Yeah.
universal intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is bread?
Yeah.
You know, like she already knew what bread
Bread
was.
was, yeah.
She already identified the problem, right? And that's the big thing. It's like identifying a problem, right?
Yeah.
But she had already put in the work to learn how
How to
to, you know, be a baker,
Yeah.
right?
But then the inspiration. So let's say if I transfer to music, it's like inspiration and ideas, two different things. I have an idea. I want to do this type of song, like a club song.
mm-hmm,
Well, that would definitely work.
mm-hmm,
I need a club song, and then let's. So my idea is like bring a girl. She's really good in, like let's say like high pitch. But if I don't have the inspiration, it's dead. However, when I start, let's say, working with her,
right.
okay, so now the inspiration start to.
Well, you'll
Come
put
over.
on one beat and you'll be like, oh, I like this one better. Like, because you were
Mhm.
inspired from that beat to go over to this beat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like I like that sound. Like, oh, more treble. Oh, let's do more, like less bass, or, you know,
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
and it's all
Connected.
like a
Yeah.
freaking, when you play, what's it called, not ping pong, but like pinball.
Pinball.
You
Okay,
know, it's like a pinball.
Ding, 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 ding,
Ding,
ding.
ding,
Yeah,
ding,
yeah.
ding, bouncing, like, and that's what you gotta think of as inspiration.
Yeah.
Inspiration just freaking bounces like crazy, man. And so you can
Right.
have like all of these inspired thoughts that keep bouncing off of different things. It's like,
Mhm.
so like the more inputs you have, the more outputs you're gonna have.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, I mean, some of the inspiration come from another song or another artist or somebody that you might have heard. And go, you know, I'm inspired to kind of write
Mhm.
this type of style of music. So there's your inspiration there. But now your idea, okay, now I have to come with the idea, and that's what comes where you bring that.
So it's
You're right.
connected.
Yeah.
and
It's all
they
connected
work
to
together.
you. It's connected to you. So
But where's that inspiration come from then?
everywhere around you.
You know, some people they go out and they sit in the woods and they get inspired by the chirping of the birds, the
yeah.
water,
Birds are healthy.
just seeing the scenery of
Yeah.
know the mountain. They
Inspiration.
go for inspiration there.
But do you decide to get inspiration, like to get inspired, or someone is giving it to you?
Well, like, I mean, it's your choice.
Mhm.
Right? It's your choice. Like, I mean, like because like there's inputs all
the
around
time,
you.
all the time. Yeah,
And it's your choice if you want to tap into that input. You don't have to.
yeah. It comes from the things that is around you that inspires you. Like if you have somebody who's really versed in something good, you go, you know, that person inspired me. I want to go do that, or I want to go work out because I'm inspired by that person. I see them. I see the way they work. I see the way they look. They inspire me, and so they go and they start using that inspiration to start working on themselves. So, it's
Well,
all around, yeah.
and the thing is like that person that has started to do that is kind of like, well, I don't really care what other people think.
Thanks, yeah.
You know, and like that's a big leap. That's a very
Yeah.
big leap. It is like, because like we're all conditioned to be sheep and
Yeah.
just follow in line. I mean, like you go look at any school around here, everybody's trying to just, okay, children, everybody get in line, you know, and they all got their uniforms and
Yeah.
whatever it might be, is like that's the conditioning when you're little, you know, and you just accept it. You're like, well, okay, I'm just
Everybody's
little.
doing it.
Yeah, like I mean, all my class, okay, everybody puts on their yellow, you know, rain hoodie or whatever, you know, like, and like everybody looks the same,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh well, like, don't wear the black rain jacket, you know, as everybody's wearing yellow. Well, I like black.
Mhm.
And so if you have that ability not only to have inspiration, but to have the idea
Yeah.
that you're like, well, I want to be different. You know what I mean? It's like, so like the inspiration came from like the yellow rain jackets. Like, I want a black one. Right. So that was just inspired. But then to have like the idea come that I'm confident enough, right?
Yeah.
That I don't care what everyone is going to think of me in my black rain jacket.
Right.
It's a big difference, man. It's a big leap, because if everybody's doing it and you're the only one that's not, you're ridiculed.
Yeah. Yeah. You
But
see.
now we have a connection with something because you got the inspiration,
Yeah.
but you're giving the confidence back. But where's that come? You know what I mean? Like,
It's dual.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the more that you believe in up there, the more he believes down here, and like
It works through you.
It's a transaction.
Yes. I like that. A transaction. It's a transaction from up that comes through you and goes out.
Because if I really believe, like, okay, I got the inspiration, I got an idea,
Yeah.
then I get inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Because it starts with an idea.
then you move into
So
action.
now I'm going to
Action.
pinball.
Yeah. You actually.
Ding, 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 you know.
But you have to keep an eye on the ball.
But like the thing, and like the reason why I brought up like the pinball analogy is because like in this chapter I bust out like the Jewish tree of life,
Right. Yeah.
right? And when you look at it, it kind of looks like pinball game, like because it's
Yeah,
like
it
there's a
does.
circle up here and it goes there and there
Yeah.
and there and there, and you're like, what is it?
Yeah.
And we just explained how it works without really defining it. It's like
Mhm.
that, like the idea comes from up here.
Yeah.
That is what's the top of it? Is that Bina? Let me just refer to the diagram here. Keter. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Jesus, this guy's clapping at me. So like, but it's like, how does the idea come in? It comes through your crown of your head, you know, like that's your brain, that's your receiver, you know, and like then it just moves into form, right? It's like, so it's moving from spiritual up there to intellectual to physical. And then you go right back up. You go from physical, intellectual to spiritual.
Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
I need to understand the process.
So like yeah, we're talking about like idea for a song. Is like, so you're with your bandmates and then you're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go into my little
zone.
and then you said it just hit you.
It just hit me. We were working on the same song, and
But sorry to cut you off.
no worries.
Can you explain the process? Like, how's the process? So let's say you're here, then you want to you want to create a song, but then what's going on in your mind? Like, for example, for me, like let's say I'm driving,
Yeah.
I'm frustrated, and then
Mhm.
the if I can put a schema on it, it's piss me off, and then just wait, you know. So how you go from nothing to
Something.
something? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something tangible, like you finish the song
Mhm.
from nothing.
Mhm.
So how's that process?
Well, it's a process where I'm going along and I draw from the things that are around me. You know, say I might be in traffic jam,
Mhm.
so that could be my inspiration there, right? So now I go home with that, and
Or like a cute girl's hanging out the window waving
yeah,
at
or
you.
waving
you
at
know?
me. So again, it's around me. So
Hey, big boy.
I get that process right. Then I sit down with it, and then I start playing with it. Start playing around with it. Start singing, something, making a noise, making a sound. Okay, how do I want it to go? And all of a sudden, then one more thing comes. Okay, then I start off trying to write the first verse, and I come up with the first line. Okay, awesome, I got the first line, but where's the second line? I need the second line. So something else inspired me, and I'll keep singing the song over and over again, that one part over and over again. Then another line comes in. Oh, that kind of matches. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
But where'd that come from then?
What's that?
So Another line, because you say like another line
Yeah, comes
come
in
from
because I'm
yeah. Sorry.
because I'm singing that particular one
But
line.
it's like the idea.
Yeah,
It just hit him.
it's coming, right?
It just hit him.
It just hits me because I'm singing that over and over, and all of a
Because
sudden it just joins in.
He's working with the inspiration,
Yeah,
and then from the inspiration, then like it's like I was saying, it's like he has a goal of completing the song.
Yeah.
That's his goal, and everything and everyone that you need to complete or reach your goal
yeah.
will come at exactly the right time.
Not before, at the right time. Cause
So you have to also
You have to trust
the process
Yeah.
too,
Trust-
right?
You
Chapter
get-
6.
See, it's got that trust.
Bam.
Trust the process. You have to trust the process. So I know it's a little bit difficult for people to trust the process, right? But that's
It's very difficult, man.
yeah.
So you have to remove the ego as
Right. Dude, this guy's-
Ooh.
Damn, you should write a book, bro.
Yeah.
well.
See, once you remove the ego, then the process can begin. Then it opens up to you. But as soon if ego is there, like Brad said, it's
You're blocking
Yeah,
it.
you're blocking it.
Because like you're basically, it's almost like blasphemy. You're basically saying like, I'm good, bro. I don't need you anymore because I run the show.
Mm.
And-
until you
and-
run into a difficult situation, and then you're going, "Huh, I
you-
need you.
Please God, save
help
me.
me.
You know.
Help me. Help me.
It's
and,
like,
and-
oh-
and he's laughing. He's like, "Well, you said you got it, bro."
Right.
You know.
Right. It's like I saw that like just recently in Thailand.
Yeah.
There was there's like a lot of earthquake going
Yeah.
on in Thailand right now.
Yeah. I saw
And
that.
so I watched like a documentary. I was like, that's funny. So there was like some foreigner that they live in Thailand.
Yeah.
They do not believe in God, but you see them on that video. They're on their knees.
Please, God.
They're praying.
Yeah.
So when they record, it's like, so you pray God, and the guy was like, I don't believe in God until now.
Until now, you know,
But
like,
that's the first thing. You
But
know,
I
when
love
there's
it.
a danger, there's something.
that's the win.
It's also it's almost like the ego like block you your whole life,
Yeah.
and then something crazy happen.
Yeah.
The first thing you do-
I'm just saying, like a guy named Moses
Moses.
already did this stuff to Pharaoh.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
like
yes,
Pharaoh
yes,
didn't
yes,
believe either, man. He was into
Right.
black magic, and then
Right.
Moses is like, "You want to see what's up? Locusts, you know, plague."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and the Pharaoh's like, "Damn, you're good."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. And so that's what it is, man. It's like so like that's the creation process. He just outlined it for you. It's
Yeah.
like so like you got to really be thankful for that from the beginning. It's like, you know what? Thank you, man. Thank you for the idea.
Yeah.
It didn't come from me.
Nope.
Just be thankful and appreciative that it hit you,
Yeah.
and then you have to make it move into action.
Action.
You now have to do it. So it's like you were saying, the transaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, here's your idea. Now
Yeah.
it's your turn.
Now, what you're gonna do? I'm gonna put some time into it. Put some more time into it.
But is as an idea and an inspiration always a good idea? Let's say
Yeah.
I'll take an extreme, or murder. Right?
Yeah.
So the guys like have an idea like, oh, I want to kill that person.
Oh, like Charles Manson or something like
Sure.
that. I want to
Yeah,
start a
serial
cult,
killer.
and let's just kill a bunch of people. Like,
Sure.
I mean, like
Let's
this-
take an extreme. So
Bro, like
Is-
we're
is
now
it like
getting
a-
into like good and evil, you know, and like so like this can be a very different conversation. Like, but I mean, like this whole book, I mean, like look at the center word is good. All right. So like, I mean, I think we're gonna leave that as is at the moment, is that like we're focused on the light. We all have the light within us, and it's
Each
shining
person
through
has-
us.
Yeah.
And so we're focused on doing good. Now, do we all have evil in us? Of course we do.
Of course we do. We both have it. But which side do you want to be present? Which one is taking the lead? Right? Which one is gonna take the lead? So you gotta make that decision. Which one's you're gonna be good? So they go, oh, well, nothing good's happened to me. Well, but are you doing good? Are you being positive? Or how do you expect for it to come back to you if you're not even doing it? So some people just say, well, I've been doing good and this is what happens. So forget it. I'm just going to go do bad because it's, what's the point of doing good? Well, you must still keep doing good. because you want to be different.
So
I don't
I
wanna be
think like
like-
you're trying to come up with like, okay, like what if it's just a bad idea?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? Is,
yeah,
is
like
so
let's
this
say you
i-
have an idea.
this
Yeah.
idea popped in my head.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is ideas, but mostly inspiration, always good? Because if someone can do something like that, it's like the inspiration.
I mean, it's
No.
like how you transmute it, dude. You know, it's like, so again, is like, you know, like this guy sees someone that he doesn't like and he decides that he wants to kill him. You know,
Alright.
that's his inspiration. He was inspired by this person that shot him the finger. I'm gonna
Yeah.
now go and kill that
Yeah.
person.
Mm.
And so, like, again, he didn't really engage what Delroy was saying about his creative process on how he writes a song. Is like, so maybe that happens to Delroy, some guy flips him off, and then he goes and meditates, and then comes up with a funny song about, hey, this, you know, like it's Blake Shelton's song, you know, like Some Beach, right? Have you heard that song by Blake Shelton?
No.
Some beach, man.
yeah,
and like,
Some
so
Beach.
some guy flips him off. He's like, some beach,
Yeah.
Okay.
somewhere, you know, like there's
Yeah.
Oh,
umbrella
okay.
and ocean, you know, whatever, you know, and like,
So you can also with the inspiration, you can also
Transmute
transfer
it.
the
Yeah, flip
yeah.
it. Flip it.
Okay,
Flip it.
okay.
And I tell you, I'll give you an example. When the Portman Bridge came into effect here, they were charging people going across the bridge. Now, my vehicle was sitting in my garage for 2 years, never crossed the bridge, but I kept getting these tickets.
Oh.
Saying, yeah, that my car went across the bridge. I called them, I said, listen, my car didn't go across the bridge. And I didn't tell them that the car has been broken, been sitting in my garage for 2.5 years, almost 3 years, not working. And I got another one. I called them again and said, listen.
You get another ticket?
Yeah, I said, my car didn't go across. And I still didn't tell them again that my vehicle is not working. I said, I didn't go across it. So I got mad. And I said, I'm sick and tired of getting this ticket because it's going to affect me if I go to insure my car. And if I don't pay this, then they're going to withhold insuring me or my license or whatever. I got to pay this. But I wasn't crossing the bridge. But yet, they're relying on this system. So I told them you should take the cameras that you have up there and throw them in the river because
or clean them.
or clean them or something because I have not crossed the bridge. So with that, I got inspired by that. And then I got the idea, I need to make a song about it. So I called up my peeps and said, we got to do a song about this because they're not hearing me when I speak, and I call them and say they're not hearing me. So I wrote up the song.
Also, you can change the outcome.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have the ability to take the negative and turn it into positive.
So they give you I mean, you got the idea, you got the inspiration.
Yeah.
So now, basically, you have the tools
Yes,
and do whatever,
yeah,
and then you can, with that tool, you can do something tangible. You can
that's right.
You can create something.
That's right.
Or not.
I know.
Maybe you have like an amazing idea, then you have
Mhm.
a great inspiration. If you don't do anything
Mhm.
with it,
Yeah.
okay, so you choose.
That's called a dreamer.
Right.
You're a dreamer. Is like, and there's people, like, there's a lot of people out there actually
Right.
that
Yeah.
will talk and talk and talk. Oh, like, you know, oh, I had this dream about
Mhm.
doing, you know,
Yeah.
and you're like, cool, man, you know.
Well, I was sleeping at night and it was bothering me. So I got up in the middle of the night and I started recording it on my phone.
Bam.
And then I got the idea, inspiration, and I took it and I did something with it. That I have the video on YouTube. It's the only one that's on YouTube
About the
that.
bridge.
about the bridge.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the moment I
And
decided
now they're out of business.
Yeah. I put them out of business. And the
Are you
moment
serious?
He did.
and the moment
No way.
I hit send, it was gone. So I went to a health and safety kind of meeting. My phone is turned off because you got to turn your phone off in class, right?
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to.
Don't have a TV underneath your desk.
That's right. So as soon as we had a break, I turned my phone back on. I get a message from one of the managers saying, "Oh, we love your song and the great." I said, "Yeah, of course you love the song because it's the only one up there that's telling you that you suck. I mean, listen, I've come to you. I told you the first time. You didn't listen to me. I come to you the second time. Again, you still didn't listen to me. I said, now I'm gonna write a song now. Of course you love the song because it's the only one out there. And now you're out of business. Because I didn't. And then finally I went down to their main office, one of the main office, and had them pull up the information.
You're like, show me the picture.
Show me the picture.
Yeah.
Show me my car. So when they pulled the car up, it was a white Audi. Mine was a black Honda Civic.
But how come?
Well, because like maybe there's like mud.
Yeah.
Or,
So come to find out
okay,
that the guy with the white Audi had one letter or one number different from my license plate.
I see.
So they were sending
and
it
how
to
the
me.
camera was picking up like the optical scanner.
Maybe the P with a B or something.
Listen, you spend
Okay,
so much
okay.
money on this wonderful camera system
Right.
that cannot pick up the license plate for real. Come on now. That's why I told them to throw the cameras in the river. Because guess what? You don't know that my car's been broken down and sitting in my garage for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So my car, and secondly, it's a black Honda Civic.
Right.
This is a white Audi. Can nobody sees the fact that my car's registered?
At least just the color between both cars.
Right. And if you have the information from the insurance company with my information, I'll show you what color is my car registered to.
Mhm.
You have to register that.
Yeah.
What color is it? Blah, blah, blah. You have that information, but you guys didn't do your job. So now I'm going to do your job for you in writing a song. No, me never cross it. Say no, me never cross it. No, me never cross it. Me never cross it. Me never cross it. Alex Fraser Bridge, yes, me cross it. The Postman Bridge, me no cross it. It was bothering me, so I decided to take it and turn it because you're not hearing me, but now they heard me because
And like that's an original concept.
It's original concept.
It is like that is one of one.
one of one. Yeah,
There's nothing out there, and like so like when you can have that original concept, ooh man,
yeah,
all of a sudden you're on a different level.
Yeah,
you know,
different
it
level.
is like
yeah,
not only did you take all of the inspiration around you and transmute
yeah.
the inspiration from negative.
True.
Because like he could have been like tripping on them, be like,
could've.
"Fuck you, motherfuckers!"
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, like and like just
Yeah.
lost his shit, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden he goes down in this deep dark hole, and he's
Yeah.
writing articles on like
Yeah,
the internet.
yeah.
You know,
It never goes positive, like when
and I'm
you're
gonna
going
sue
through that
these
path-
guys,
Yeah.
and we're gonna
Well,
get a class action law. Like,
Exactly. Again, about what we talk about being angry, being upset, and stuff. It depends on how you use that energy, right? So instead of like you say going down the dark hole and whatever, I decided to turn it into a light
Mhm.
and bring the light to them and says, yeah, no, you're wrong about it. My car never crossed. But here's a nice song for you. No, me never cross it. Me never cross it. Me never cross it.
dude, I
Just
love
the
it.
other day, I get another bill. That's number 4. Now I write the song about you. Yeah. But it was beautiful because it's the only one up there. And now
So now you're happy that you got actually a ticket because you created like
because
a
I
pretty cool
created
song.
that.
Like look at the material that we just got right here.
Yeah.
Like you can see the joy that is coming. So man, like that's what you gotta like give yourself a real good check and go
Yeah,
like
you have to.
am I taking a minute or just a pause
Yeah.
instead of reacting?
Mhm.
Like we really as humanity we need to stop reacting.
Mhm.
We need to just put a little thing in the middle called a pause, think, breathe, and then you can respond.
Yeah.
Right? It's like so reacting is like not thinking.
Your ego is in front, so it doesn't allow you to see the truth. So you got to get it out of the way. I'll give you another one because we have to talk about this one since we're on this. So you guys know I had an issue with my car, right? So I needed a battery, so I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to Canadian Tire. Now Canadian Tire, I'm talking about you, but I'm gonna show you. Walk good. I went there, told the guy, okay, this is my vehicle, the year, the make. Okay, great. We're having some good time talking, laughing. Gives me the battery. Okay, I take it. I go home, did some run around, doing some other stuff. Got home, and decided to put the battery in, but the battery's not sitting properly in the docking station. I go, this battery looks bigger than the original one. Yeah, because the other one is skinnier. So I bring it back. But when I left, I wasn't really thinking anything. They had me initial this no return and no exchange for a battery. So I went back to the store now. Now I put the original battery in my car, the other car, drove there, and said, "Listen, I just bought this car a few hours ago, and this battery is not the right battery." So what the guy said to me was, "Oh no, well, we can't
Where
do
you
no
say like
refund."
I bought the car a few hours ago. You mean
My
I
battery,
bought
the
the
battery,
battery
the
a
battery.
few hours ago?
And they go, "Oh no, we can't do no refund or no exchange." I said, "Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Right? You sure?
You want to go to the policy?
You want to
right
go
now?
there, right? The policy, okay." It's not like I came back a week later. It's not like I came back 2 days later. I came back an hour after I bought this thing. Now I brought the original one so you can see what the battery looks like to show you gave me the wrong battery. So that none and void your policy. You gave me the wrong product. Now even if I initial no refund and no exchange, you gave me the wrong product.
Mhm.
I'm trusting you to give me the right product, and now you want to tell me, "Oh no, we can't do that.
We can't take
We can't take that
responsibility.
responsibility." So I said to the young man, I said, "Get your manager here." So get your manager. So the manager come, and the manager expressed the same thing, saying, "Oh no, we can't." I said, I looked them both in the eyes and said, "Are you sure you want to go down that road? You sure?" So the lady who was I don't know if she was a supervisor or whatever, took my paperwork, and then she says, "Hold on." I said, "Okay." I said, "Do you think I'm going to give you $240 for free? You must be bad." So she took the paperwork and she's talking to the guy and reading off about the car. I says, "First of all, my car's not a Datsun."
Who
It's on the
drives a
paper.
Datsun?
As soon as she started reading, I said, "My car's not a Datsun. That's not what I asked for. I did not ask for a Datsun vehicle." So that's where the mistake was, why they gave me the wrong battery. So the lady went and spoke to someone, and she came back. She goes, "Yeah, do you want to come back like tomorrow and talk to the manager?" I said, "I ain't coming back and talking to any manager. You need to do what good
Just make
and
it
handle
right.
and make it right. You gave me the wrong battery, wrong car. Here I brought the right one for you. You can clearly see with your eyes. It's two different sizes. Do the right thing." I said, "I'm not gonna give you $240 for nothing."
And then ask me to come back
And
tomorrow.
asked me to come back. I
Now
already
you're
taken
taking my
time to
time.
come back
Yeah.
from my house to this place. So I'm gonna charge you for my time coming back
Yeah.
here.
Can I send you an invoice?
Send you
Yeah.
an invoice
Yeah.
for my time because you gave me the wrong product for what I asked for. That's why I brought the original one so you can see.
Mhm.
So finally, the lady came and goes, "Yep, you know what? Give him, refund it, and then give him the right one." I said, "Thank you." I said, "Thank you for doing right. You are a good employee for Canadian Tire." I said, "You made a good call." Because I said, "This is going to turn out pretty different for you." Because I guess you never heard about my song on the Portman Bridge, but I'm going to write one about you too. So I just don't get mad, folks.
Canadian
I just
Tire.
write a song. No, me never cross it. I just write a song.
Inspiration.
Inspiration. You want to go there with me? Not a problem. I'm not even going to go off on you. I'm just going to write a song. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to your people, and they're going to see it. And now you want to do damage control because I'm not here. You're disrespecting me when I'm trying to be polite and stuff like that with this situation.
Mhm.
You can clearly see I got the wrong battery.
Mhm.
I'm not here to try to disrespect you or disrespect the situation. I just need a battery so I can put it in my car and get moving, man. That's all I need, right? So all this
Because
other
the situation could be fixed
should have been
pretty
easy.
fast.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, we're so sorry about that. Here, like maybe a gift card for like $20, whatever. Get it fixed. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Done. You're
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna put like a good review and then happy and then coming back.
Absolutely.
Doesn't have to make
Absolutely.
anything
Absolutely.
difficult
So
for you.
the fact that the supervisor or whoever she was made the right call and realized and saw that I was not happy with the policy and whatever it is, I said, yeah, I put my initial there under the assumption that you gave me the right product. I
Mhm.
wouldn't have been coming back if you gave me the right product. But seeing that you gave me the wrong product, and then you want to now tell me that you're not giving me my money back, you're not even going to exchange thing for the battery. Like I'm here to work for you and give you free money.
Mhm.
That's not going to happen. So I'm going to ask you the question one more time. Are you sure you want to go? Because here we are talking about it, but I'm talking about it in a good light, not this and this
Yeah,
and
no, like you're giving
you know,
them
Canadian
props
Tire,
for,
I'm
for
giving
like
props.
breaking their policy and doing the right
Doing
thing for
the
the
right
customer,
thing.
and now you have a customer for life.
doing the right thing.
Mhm.
The idea came to you, "Now, this customer is not here to do anything wrong." No, that's right. Just do the right thing. So here I am talking good about Canadian Tire and saying kudos to you for having the employee to make the right decision, and maybe you need to change your policy. Now I understand maybe it's because someone has done something, whatever. That's not my problem,
Mhm.
right?
You know, sometimes like now what I ask, sometimes I have an issue with a client or so.
Yeah,
I can spend like 30 minutes arguing about the same thing.
yeah,
Oh, we're sorry, this is the policy. And then I learned that on a seminar is who's taking the decision?
yeah,
As easy as that.
yeah.
Oh, this is not me, this is the policy. Who's writing the policy?
Right.
Oh, it's my manager.
Yeah,
If the manager have the exact same issue,
yeah,
no, I'm sorry, this is how it is. So who's taking the decision?
yeah,
Oh, it's that person.
yeah. And then
Can you
go
transfer
that
me to that person?
Yeah,
Usually, it get fixed instantly,
yeah.
extremely fast.
And that's why I asked for the manager, because I said, listen, I said to the young man, because he was taking it personal when I was telling him, no, this is not going to happen. I said, listen, I know it's not your fault. I said, don't internalize it, what my frustration is.
Don't let your
about it.
ego
Right.
get in the way.
So his ego
Mhm.
was coming in. So I had to calm him down and said, listen, it has nothing to do with you. You're just following the policy that is placed before you. But as a customer, this is my frustration here, and you need to fix it. But it's be above your pay grade. So give me the manager, because the manager can make a better decision. So I said to him, he goes, thank you. I said, no. I want you to know, when before I walk out of the store, it has nothing to do with you. You're just in the front line, hearing my frustration about you telling me about this policy, and that I'm going to give you $240 for nothing, and I'm going to walk out there with my hands. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not
Mhm.
walking out of here. So
I think like what happened with John's Bakery, just to bring
Right.
it back to the book,
bring it on. To
you know,
yeah.
it is like, so he you know, people were frustrated with his baguettes, or
Right.
they had become hockey pucks at a
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
point, right? And like, so, you know, people kept telling him like, your product is not good, you know, and like he's like, fuck it, man, I'm driving a Lamborghini, you
Yeah.
know, right? And
Yeah.
so like, that's the thing, is like, you know, when that happens and a consumer identifies that, like, well, there's a problem with this business, they're going to find an alternative
Yeah,
place that
absolutely.
can offer that. And
Absolutely.
that's where Jane's Bakery then
Mhm.
popped up. And like, so
Mhm.
everybody went over there, and then she followed the same path. And that's where we're talking about inspiration.
Mhm.
And Sarah is the entrepreneurial girl that works at the theater selling popcorn, you know, like that's her job, is like, so she's like the vending machine at the theater, basically.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
serving popcorn and soda and stuff like that. And it's like this job that her family's so proud that she has,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, but at the same time, she has inspiration. Okay, she has inspiration. She's like, okay, yeah, I have this job,
Yeah.
okay, and my family is happy that I got a job and I'm paying my bills, but I'm still inspired because of what happened with John's Bakery. Now it's happening at Jane's Bakery. I'm not happy. And she's like, well, man, I learned how to make bread from my mom. Like, she taught me how to make really good
Bread,
baguettes. And so, like, you know what I mean? It's like, so then like the idea has to come in. It's like, so the inspiration was there,
Yeah.
that like I'm frustrated with the current products, in this case bread, that's out there. And so, you know, I know how to make it, you know, so like the inspiration, she had the experience, the knowledge, but then something had to hit,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, then like the idea hit was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make my own. Like that had to hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's an extremely important question. How much should you trust inspiration? Is it always good? How much should I trust the inspiration? Let's say if I have the inspiration,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
how much
you
should I trust to give it?
I call it like, do a 360 first. Do a 360 around it, and like if you can poke a hole in it, then throw it away.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, you can go throughout your whole day with a lot of inspired ideas or thoughts or whatever, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then when you sit down and you draw a circle around it and try and poke holes from every angle, if you can poke a hole in it, then you probably got to throw it away.
Start over.
That's all I'm saying. Is like, so she had a pretty solid idea hit her, you know, like the inspiration was like is frustration
Yeah.
with the current
bakery, right?
yeah, like the
Yeah.
current product that was on the market.
Yeah.
She already knew how to do it, but then there has to be that bridge. So you're in music, right?
Mhm.
So a bridge to the next verse, right?
Mhm.
So you're in music.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I know that.
You know that. Yeah.
And so I'm just saying is like so like the like you gotta think of the idea that hits you as that bridge between like your experience and inspiration.
Yeah.
The idea is that in between part. And so like if it lines up, then you have something. And so that's what she did in this case. Was like she was like, fuck it, man, I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna make 10 freaking baguettes and see if they sold out.
Yeah. At a reasonable price to where people can afford to buy that bag.
But like it was a premium product. Like they just increased the price like $3 over like the shitty stuff that was out
Mhm.
there, and people were like, yeah, man, I'll pay $3 more for something that's good.
Yeah.
You know, and so it not only are they happy with the product, but it kind of set the new mark for quality bread.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
so that's what kind of came out of that is like, so, I mean, that's an entrepreneur, you know, and like, but at the same time, you know, she's got this idea that hit her.
Yeah.
She has the experience, she has the inspiration, but yet nobody in her family is supporting her.
Right. Because they thought it's crazy.
Like, they're like, yeah, you make great bread. And yeah, you're right. Jane's bread sucks. You know, but you got a job at the theater. Stay in your job. And like that's the reality. And like that's the split in, you know, employees versus business owners.
Right. Right.
You know, it's like
Right.
97-3 or something. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Because of our conditioning, you know.
So is that a very dangerous thing to? So let's say Jane, she want to build her business now.
Right.
Okay, she want to build her.
Or Sarah,
own-
yeah.
Sorry. She want to build her. Sarah want to build her own bakery. So, but she also need to work with people. She should. What do you think it's better? She just shut down everyone, family, or all the people that are not supporting her, and then create her own team, and just build her own idea and inspiration,
You got it.
or saying like, oh, well, let me listen to that advice. But most of this advice are coming from not business people
Mm-hmm.
or
People that
who
have
have
never
business
they've
or-
never even rolled the dice before.
Yeah.
And they're trying to tell you how
You
to
don't
roll
know
the
that.
dice.
Right.
They're like, here's how you roll dice. And you're like, have you rolled them before? No.
No.
You're like, so why am I listening to you?
right.
And it's no disrespect to the fact that
Right.
you're not listening to them. It's the fact that you got to, if you believe in what you believe in, then you need to go and try it. Because who are you taking the advice from? From someone who has done it or someone who's not done it? Right? You haven't done it. So how can I take advice from you? You haven't even tried it. You haven't done it yourself. So I'm going to come to someone who is already doing it and learn from them and watch them.
Bingo.
Someone who did it and succeed on
It
it.
succeeded. So I'm going to go and learn from them to say, hey, you know what? I'd like to get into this business. Like someone come to you and say, oh, I want to get into the business of recording, to which you're teaching people how to do this, right? So, which is a good thing. There's a lot of recording studios around.
Mhm.
What makes yours different? Because you're willing to teach them.
Well, and like
Right?
that's the thing is like, and so yeah, like you're right. It's like so you're gonna want to seek advice from people that
Well-
are knowledgeable about what you're gonna do, or
Yeah.
that are actually doing it, that are
And
successful.
at it. Yeah.
Like what I'll say is like the people that are actually successful at what they do, like they'll share everything with you because they know that like they
Yeah.
can give you all of
Oh,
the keys to
yeah.
their kingdom,
Yeah.
and you still can't do what they do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Like so. That's just a fact, you know. It's
Mhm.
like, man, I'll tell you everything about my business,
Mm-hmm.
give you everything that you need, and you still won't do it. You know, because like you still have to have that passion.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. See, you have to have the passion. I can give you everything on a silver platter, but what do you do with it? You put it on the shelf and let it collect dust, or you're gonna do something with it,
Right.
right?
It's
So
like
most
two
people-
two different mindset. It's like one, hey, I'll share everything I have. You can create whatever,
Yeah.
and the other mindset is I keep everything for myself.
Dude, it's so funny. I had a call today. Shit, man,
Mm.
it's funny. I had a call today from like a guy out in New York, right? Thick New York accent, you know. Hey, what's this Scrap University thing? You know, hey. And I'm like, he's like, you know, I got a bunch of friends in the scrap business. They don't tell me shit about the scrap business. I'm like, this is hilarious. I'm like talking to Andrew Dice Clay or something like that. It's hilarious. You know, I'm like, I go, yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, that was part of my frustration growing up. Like, even my dad wouldn't tell us what the different metals were. Like, we had to figure it out on our own.
Mhm.
And then I get into like the working world and nobody's sharing their information. So you're right, man. It's like
Mhm.
there's those that are like, you know, and that I think that's the scarcity mindset versus the abundance mindset.
I was about to say that. Yeah, they feel that scarcity, which is
You're gonna
not
take
true.
away from them.
right.
Mhm.
If they share their stuff,
Yeah.
you're gonna take it. It's
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
That's why some people don't want to share. For me, it's like I'm gonna give it to you because 9 out of 10 people don't do anything with it, right? But I'm free to give it to you because why not? What if I give it to you, then I can move to the next level.
So that's
Right.
why I said to this guy, like, he's like, you know, like, I even got buddies in the scrap business. They don't tell me shit. I'm like, yeah, you know, I understand. Like, that's just how it is.
Mhm.
And I go, but like what we decided to do was like catalog all of this information and put into an online course, and now you get to access it, you know.
Yeah, which is pretty cool because you don't have to go bug those people. You can actually now go on.
Dude, and like that's what he said. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with these guys now, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm,
because
mhm,
like
mhm.
he's now gonna get all
on
this knowledge,
yeah.
and he can like go and talk and they'll be like, damn,
Where did you get that from?
right?
Scrap University.
It's like different. So you say like, here so you coming from a mind like, I give you,
Yeah,
choose whatever you want,
Totally.
but I
Given,
give you.
given,
And the other
yeah.
one's like, I keep everything
Uh-huh.
And they lose
because
everything.
maybe you're gonna steal the idea from me.
right. So what's more powerful?
The giving, I mean,
Yes,
What feels better?
the
oh,
giving.
the giving, of course.
Mhm.
Right. And so guess what we did? Like, so this was another thing is like, so on Friday of last week, I just was like, I had an idea. I had an idea hit me, right? And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it, man. We're gonna give away our shit for free, right? Until the end of the month, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, like today's like the last day of the month.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, just a quick little
Yeah.
weekend sort of thing. I'm like,
Jordan, yeah.
I go, you know, hey, you know, scrap metal homies, like we're giving away our course for free
Yeah.
to anybody, you know, and
Mm.
holy shit, like we got a whole bunch. Dude, I had a lady send me like a list of like 40 people from her company today. And she's like, you said there's no limit. I'm like, I you know what? I said no limit. You're right. I enrolled all 40 people for
Yeah.
free.
Yep.
And so,
But-
so you know, I like when I was doing it, I'm like, I looked at the list. Like she sent me like an Excel spreadsheet of all of her people.
Yeah.
And I looked at this. I'm like, damn, like that's
Mhm.
that's gonna be a lot of work that I have to do here.
Yeah.
Because I like put them into the system. But as I was doing it,
It give you.
I felt good.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it
The
was,
giving, the giving you like a.
like I mean, like versus like someone just buying it, like and like I'll wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh cool, someone bought our course.
Yeah,
You know, like
right.
there's a G.
Right.
And I'm like, cool. And then it's like it fades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but like this thing, I just
It's a-
enrolled fucking
right.
40 people in
Yeah.
one day for free. Like
Yeah.
that's gonna last with me forever.
Yes.
The $1,000 doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Because
But I-
then you'll get more from that 40 people that you enrolled. In.
So like you could do the same thing here. You could be like, hey, I'm giving away free podcasts, right? And I'm just trying to explain like the thinking behind it.
Mhm.
Right? It's like the thinking behind it is like they're like, and people will email, they're like, wait a minute, you're giving it away for free.
Gotta
I'm
be a catch. Gotta be
like,
something.
they're like, I go, no, it's
No.
just fucking free, dude. You know?
Yeah.
That's all. I'm like, you know what? Like, if you want to write a review, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, but I ain't expecting anything. I'm
Yeah.
just giving it, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't happen too often nowadays where people are given anything, for free, right?
But like what's going to happen, okay, is like, because when you give, like really give and not
Yeah.
expect anything, what will happen is some way, somehow, they're going to be talking to somebody
That's right.
and say, hey, these dudes gave away our course. We enrolled 40 people.
Mhm.
Our people are making us more money than
Mhm.
ever. We're crushing it.
Right.
Our staff is so skilled now. Like,
Mhm.
oh my God. Like, and they're talking to like maybe like another business owner,
Mhm.
right? And that business
Right.
owner then all of a sudden calls up and says, "Hey, I want to enroll 500
Yeah.
people,"
Mhm.
Mhm.
and I'm
That's
like,
right.
"Well, that's cool."
Mhm. But
Absolutely.
there's like I have a two important question. First one would be
The answer is no.
the first one would be okay. So you have an idea, right? It goes to inspiration,
Yeah.
right? So let's say
No, remember it's
No,
the
no.
bridge. It's like so you have like your knowledge,
Mhm.
okay, and then you have your inspiration, but the idea is that bridge,
between both.
right?
So it's not coming from me, it's coming from somewhere else.
That's right.
So if I'm logical, I'll be okay, well, you're giving me a lot. I'm not giving you anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way for me to give you something back is to be grateful about it.
That's right.
So I can be like, I can go to a temple, I can go like somewhere where I can say, well, thank you so much, you know.
Mhm.
Or
Can-
you can just wake up and
I'm
say,
I'm gonna give
To
you.
be
"Wow,
grateful.
my feet just hit the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Thank you."
Yeah.
You can say it like that. It doesn't have to be like on your knees in church and
Right.
wearing a kippah and a synagogue. And no, man, you just wake up and be like,
You're just
"Thanks,
grateful.
dude."
But at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm thinking the only thing that I'm giving is being grateful. How much is the guy?
That's all he
Or-
needs. That's all he needs.
Yeah, but I'm
man.
thinking like how big is the ego should be to the guy saying like, hey, the only thing you have to do is like, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Because he doesn't have an ego.
There
dude.
is none. It's unlimited.
You know what I mean? It's like
There's
so
no order.
if someone gives you something and they got no ego, they don't even need you to say
Say
thank you.
True.
Just appreciate and accept it and take that and pass it on to someone else. So
Yeah.
what's been given to you in goodness, take that goodness, like how you feel when you received it, and give it to somebody else so they can feel what you feel. So if you keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that, everybody's feeling
Right.
The
So you're
vibration.
creating a circle.
That's
It's
right.
like someone
Yeah.
doing good for you.
right.
Yes.
By default, you will
Right.
do good for him.
That's right.
So-
And then it goes circle.
That's
Okay,
right.
okay.
So you gotta think of it as like
Right.
so like when you throw a rock into the ocean, right? You throw a rock and it makes a splash, right? So did you just affect that little splash, or did you affect the whole ocean?
You actually, well, you affect the whole ocean.
That's right.
And like so
Yeah.
that's what you gotta think about.
And it's
is
only a little splash. It's only one little pebble.
You're like, there's no way I can affect the whole ocean.
Yeah.
You did.
So
Not
imagine.
because it sends like that wave
Yeah.
or that frequency or whatever energy, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
all the way through. And you're like,
Mhm.
no way. I just threw one rock in there. It's like,
Right.
yep. You know what I mean? It's like, so that's how you really have to think about energy. And that's how you have to think about giving and like kindness and love and all of these
Mhm.
positive things.
It's a work in progress. You got to do, I mean, some days you're going to get rattled, but you get back on the horse again and you just get back and keep on doing good. Keep on putting it out there, It's going to come and test you. And yeah, you might fall off the horse, but you get back up on the ride again. And so that's okay. You're going to learn something from it, even to the bad. So that's why I always like to take the bad and I spin it. I spin it to the positive. I could have done that to the Canadian Tire, but I didn't. I spin it in a good way. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm on here at the podcast giving props to the way that it was handled in a good way.
Mhm.
So, giving. And the more you learn how to do that, imagine it's only one pebble. Imagine if you use a big rock and give more. How much more you will affect more people.
So and that's the
Yeah.
thing is like, so with Sarah, she's like, I want to give people better product.
Value,
Like,
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It's like, so
Mhm.
like, it's coming from like a giving point of view. She
Yeah.
she didn't even think she would sell her bread.
Yeah.
She didn't think she would. Like when her cousin called her like 2 hours later, she's like, what? Like they're sold out. She didn't expect it, man.
Yeah.
Like it was just pure giving,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she didn't even know what to charge. She said, you make the price up, and he made the price,
Mhm.
right? Like she was just like, hey man,
Mhm.
I just want people to have
Yep.
something good. Like this is from love,
Mhm.
man. And so that's what you got like really with that idea that hits you is you got to like come at it from like a loving, sharing, giving point of view. Whereas if you come at it from like, I'm here to make money,
Mhm.
you
Which
know?
is nothing wrong with that, making money, right? But It all depends on how you look at it. Now, does money become your thing? Yeah. Then giving, right? I have the money, I'm gonna give, right?
Yeah. Hey, that's well put. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, you could say, oh, I'm doing this to make money.
Yeah.
For who?
Yeah.
For you?
Mhm.
Wrong.
Mhm.
For others? Right.
Right.
You know, and like so that's all it is, man. It's like it's really like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work on your ego.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Thanks for saying that, because it's not easy. It's work in progress. Like I said, it's a everyday doing it, and yeah, you're gonna fall down sometimes. You're not gonna meet your mark for whatever affects you during the day. But then you gotta now just clear it out and restart.
Mhm.
You gotta restart now, do it all over again.
Mhm.
And as the more you keep doing it, you get better and better and
Yeah.
better. It's like anything we do,
More reps.
more reps. It's about more repetition over and over and over and over and over. Nobody's smarter. They've just been doing it more
Well,
times.
it's like what you're saying about the form when that young guy wanted to get as big as you at the gym.
yeah.
And you're
Can-
like, take
can
all the
you-
weights
can you
off.
Take it off.
Can
Yeah.
you explain that? I don't know about this
So
story.
I was at the gym, and this young college, high school
Like,
kid
yeah.
was in the gym at the time, and I'm working out. So he was watching me, so he was getting inspired by me. So he wanted to know, how can he get to where I'm at? So I looked at what he was dealing with, and I said, well, take off the 45 plates
Mhm.
and put on the 25. And he was like,
Oh.
well, what do you mean? What do you mean? So his
E-
ego
Yeah.
was like, what? He's worried about the girls watching
Yeah,
him and all that.
what will people think
Think
of
about
me?
me, yeah.
And that's what we're talking about
No.
here. Is like
Yeah.
it's the same thing as starting a business.
Yeah.
Is like, what will
It-
people think of me?
And that's exactly what he was thinking. So I had to strip that away from him and says,
Who fucking cares?
I'm gonna get that. First of all, get rid of that. Who cares about what anybody's thinking about you? You
And
have
most
a
of
goal.
the people don't give a fuck anyway.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're busy doing their own thing than to worry
Well,
about you.
it's his own insecurities,
insecurity.
And like so.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, most people are insecure.
Right. So I said to him, take it off. And I didn't stutter when I said, you're stopping me and bothering me doing my workout.
Mhm.
And you're coming and asking me, okay, then are you going to listen or not? What did I say? Take them off. So he did. I said, good. Now that you learn how to listen. I said, go ahead.
But you see again, every time the ego come over,
Yeah.
it's blocking things to get better.
Right. So see,
Every time.
his ego was blocking him from me giving him what he was looking for. Because he wanted
Actually,
to know.
the ego blocks out
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. He wanted
Because
to
I'm
know.
thinking like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what is the ego good for? Like for me, that could be a fuel.
I mean, like
You know, it
like
could be like a little bit of
the
like
ego
gas.
is good. Like if you're in like competitive shit, like if you're in like
Yeah.
competitive sports or like musician, like that's trying to be number one, like
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, dude, like
Mm-hmm.
she probably has a big fucking ego, but she's really good. So it's like that balance. She has that
Mhm.
balance of ego,
Uh,
but she's like, I'm really fucking good.
Right.
So
right.
it's confidence.
Mhm.
So
Confidence.
you're like,
Yeah.
is it ego or is it confidence?
Well, the ego will build you the confidence, and then they'll give you experience. So let's say if I bring like, let's say 10 artists, and I say, okay, so we're gonna have a live battle,
Yeah.
10 people.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, each single artist, when I see them, all 10 of them, they will get way better.
Mm-hmm.
Competition. Yeah.
Yeah,
Competition
sure.
is good.
So for competition, ego is excellent.
Yes.
But you have to balance that and don't let the ego overtake you that you become ignorant.
But also
Ignorant.
Also, you don't keep it the whole time. You just like, you can use it as a tool.
fuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't let it
Like-
become a part of
because
you.
like then
That's good.
then once
Okay.
so like maybe like if you sat down with Taylor today, maybe she's not crazy ego, like because
Mhm.
she's the best at what she does,
Mhm.
and she can take the pedal off the floor and
Mhm.
just go, you know what, I did it, I'm good now. Maybe I don't know her,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying is like so like yeah, like that's a good thing, but that. What I was gonna say is like we have to then shift over to the other fundamental book.
Right.
Is like we were talking about Napoleon Hill
Yeah.
and Think and Grow Rich. We have to go over to Wallace Wattles and the science of getting rich.
Right.
He specifically says in there, don't get into competitive industries, get into creative ventures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what's gonna set you apart. that's the science of getting rich. That's how you're going to get rich, is by doing something like making a song about the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's the only guy that did it,
I'm the only one. Yeah.
right?
So you're going to a creative path
Yeah.
instead of a competitive.
So like
Right.
that's the thing, is like, so we were talking about the ego.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me where the ego is going to pop up more. Is it going to pop up in competitive, or is it going to pop up in creative? You know,
Right. Right.
Yeah, competition for sure.
the
Competitive
ego is
percent.
always going to be stronger. Like, I'm not saying that you won't have an ego being creative, you know, like, you still have that. You're like, well, this is what I do. You know, I'm a writer or whatever, you know, I'm a musician. Like, you still have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're just doing it on your own, and like there is no competition over there, then you're calm.
Mhm.
You know, like you
Yeah.
don't need to always flex, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if you're in a competitive industry, holy shit, man.
Mhm.
Like,
It's
like
dog-eat-dog,
I go
baby.
to like these conventions, you know, like the scrap metal conventions,
Mhm.
scrap metal, you know, dirty jeans and
Mhm.
boots, but everyone's dressed up in suits and shit because they made some flow.
Yeah.
And so they think they're fucking amazing. I'm like, bro, like, we're in the scrap business,
Mhm.
you know, like it's like the bottom of the fucking barrel, man. You know, it's like, come on, dude. You know, but like that's the ego talking. It's like once you make some flow, then you got a cool car, you got a cool house. Then all of a sudden your ego.
You gotta keep it. You gotta keep him down. I was watching this thing on Instagram today. We're talking about competition, and it was, I don't know if it was wrestling that they were doing or karate, but the referee was getting the opponent to come and shake hand with the other guy,
Mhm.
and he comes and he clocked him.
Oh,
What do you mean? Like,
He was to shake hands, right?
Oh.
But instead of shaking his hand, he
Bam!
just gave him a boom. So they hauled him off because that was dirty. So his ego got the best of him.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
he did, he struck the other opponent who was just putting his hand out to shake his hand. So
so like the anger hijacked his thinking.
whole entire thinking,
The anger just took over his whole body.
ego. Yeah.
So the ego take
Yeah,
over.
Whereas
okay.
if he maybe went to the corner and just said, you know what, I lost or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
I'm gonna breathe.
So the
Yeah.
pose we was talking earlier, the pose,
Pause. Yeah.
the pause, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, okay, I have like few different thing going on. I'm thinking, I don't have the luxury to pose.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But the ego is saying like,
Do you have time to breathe?
Yeah.
So you're telling me like, yep, I don't have time to breathe, you know.
Yeah. Hold on.
Well, what happens is like when you're not breathing, you're cutting off the oxygen to your brain, and so like your brain's not functioning at the normal level that it is, or you're not making decisions as clearly as you should. So that's why, you know, meditation, like it sounds like, oh, meditation is lame or whatever. It's like it's just breathing.
It just gives you a chance to reset. There's so much noise around us that we don't really have the chance to really sit down and breathe. You have the devices that's constantly on, dinging, blinging. Like sometimes, I put my phone, I go home, I turn my phone upside down. I don't want to see it.
It's a good practice.
Yeah. I take it and I flip it upside down so I don't see every little thing that comes on there.
Mhm.
You know, I'm spending time watching some TV. No, this is my time. Like, okay, whatever it is, it can wait. And then, okay, I'll flip it over. Okay, great. All right, then I'll get to it.
Mhm.
So I got to take those breaks. I have to do that. But with the technology the way that it is right now, like even with Instagram, it wants you to be on it all the time, but I can't be on it all the time. Well, you got some messages. Yeah, I know I got messages. I know. And I'll get to them when I get to them. But no, you want me to be
Yep.
like on an hamster wheel. I don't want to be on an hamster wheel. I'm controlling it.
Mhm.
I'm going to post when I want to. I am going to go check those messages out when I want to. But now they're trying to encourage
Yeah,
me.
well, I mean-
but I need to breathe. I need to just turn it upside down and say, okay, I don't need to look at this right now. It's too much information that's going on. Overload, right? Breathe.
pause and breathe. Mhm.
You
Well,
got to-
I mean, it's just addicting though.
It becomes
like you get addicted to the dopamine.
That's what it
rush,
is,
You know,
right?
it's like so like I get it. You know,
I get it too. Yeah.
it's a loop, man. You know, and so like you have to, again, it's like, well, why am I addicted to the dopamine rush of likes and comments and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and you gotta go, well, what is that? Who's speaking?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, is that the ego speaking?
hmm I mean, that's why they changed it
Yeah.
on Instagram, where it used to be they show you the likes. Now they don't show you. They only show you a couple of, okay, this person like you, maybe 3, but before. So someone did something to themselves because they didn't felt like, oh, nobody likes me and I only got
Right.
one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
they quickly change that. Now you don't get to see, oh,
Oh,
150
that's
people,
cool. Okay.
150 people like your thing and you only got 5. Well, what about me? What's wrong with me? So Instagram,
Oh,
they
so
quit.
like they don't really count anymore?
No, they only just show you. You'll see 3 people say, "Oh, these 3 people like you," but they don't show you the rest of the other people.
Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
see. Okay.
So they
Okay.
had to change that because
Well, and again, like that, then it becomes you're comparing.
right.
You're
And
comparing, like again,
yeah,
you and
comparison.
your
Elon
boy
Musk.
Elon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
And-
not
and
a
I
it's
sti-
not
and
a
I still
fair
do.
comparison. It's not
Yeah.
a fair comparison. So it's just like why, just be you, man. Like be comfortable with this, man.
Mhm.
Because
You
I
know?
feel like let's say like some amazing audio engineer like Bruce Whitten, they work
Dude,
with
you're
Michael
an
Jackson.
amazing
They,
you're an amazing audio engineer and video now. You were
Yeah.
just
but
saying
but
like,
I
you're
would
like,
I would compare myself with someone like way better because
No,
you know what I mean?
compare with yourself.
dude, like here's it's like golf, dude.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Mm.
like I play golf, right? And you're just playing against yourself, dude.
Mhm.
It's just like you're just trying to beat your own score.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not a competitive sport unless you enter into like a tournament and it becomes competitive. But if you're just out there golfing,
And having fun doing it.
you're just trying to get better on your own.
That's right.
And your like up here is your only competition is your mind, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's how you gotta look at life and business is like there is no competition out there.
Yeah, I don't believe in that because I know back in the days when I got my brother on board to perform with me, and we had a competition, and it was singers and they had magicians and whatever. So when it came down to the final thing of it, it was the singer against a magician. Well, it's not even really. You can't compare.
It's like apples and
It's
oranges,
boring,
dude.
right?
Yeah.
So they went to the crowd for the decision, and the crowd selected us, but they gave it to the magician.
Which is like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
So right there, I said, you know what? This competition is not right because the crowd voted and said, no, we want them to win because you went by applause. But why did you turn around and give it to the magician?
Mhm.
Okay, that's fine. So I just said, you know what? Competition, I'm only competing against myself. I'm not competing.
Inspiration.
Yeah,
Inspiration.
I'm not competing against anybody.
He took that inspiration.
Yeah.
And again, like
Yeah.
I mean, you already know Delroy always transmutes bad into good, but that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Is it's like, okay, if
Yeah.
it's rigged,
Yeah.
you know, if this competition that we're in is rigged, then like I don't want to participate in it.
That's why I don't go into the competition. If I am, I know I'm only competing against myself.
Well,
not against.
and like that's why
anybody else.
like for me, I can't stand politics.
Yeah.
Like, but unfortunately, what happens is when you do stuff in the public light, it becomes political,
Mhm.
and it's like it's so lame. You know, it's so lame because like politics is like the ultimate competition. I mean, you go back to like high school when like people would like vote for
Or the your king and queen, or some kind of
dude, it's just like so that's kind of what happens in the business world if you're front facing, if you're in the public eye, and like
Yeah.
so fortunately or unfortunately for what I do, I'm in the public eye.
Mhm.
And it's like, man, like, dude, I don't want to compete. I don't want to
Yeah.
kiss anybody's ass. I just want to come up with cool shit. If you like it, great.
Great.
If you don't, that's okay,
too.
man.
Yeah.
That's
It's
okay.
okay.
I don't need everybody to like the shit, you know. But like then you get sucked into political nonsense, and it's just like, man, like that's another frustrating. Like when you're a creative person, like Bob Marley.
Yeah.
You know, Bob Marley's written right into this book, and damn, they fucking used him, man, to the point where they almost fucking killed him, dude.
Oh, I
They
didn't know
staked
that.
out his house and they bam, bam, bam,
Really?
bam, bam,
Oh, I didn't
fucking
know.
gunned him down, bro.
Hmm.
Because like that was the thing, is like he's like, no, I don't take sides.
Yeah. That's right. He's never been one to, being that, right? He tries to bring the two sides together to work with each other, not against each other.
Right, like there was like Michael Manley and like Siaga, Robert
Mhm.
Siaga or something like
Mhm.
that, and like they were both totally opposing political parties. One was communist, and one was like liberal, and
Mhm.
they were trying to. They knew that Bob was a political, like their political piece that they could use, and he's like, "I'm not political, dudes,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, you gotta be
But
for."
they still use it.
They're like,
Yeah,
"You gotta
yeah.
be for somebody," and he's like, "I'm not for anybody,"
Right.
and like so he was like he brought them up on stage and had them hold hands
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, he did.
Two opposing politicians.
Hmm.
Yeah.
To teach them to work together, not against each other.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
powerful,
Yeah.
man.
So
It
he
was-
had to leave. He had to leave.
but the
after
thing
they
is,
tried to
he
get him
still got fucking shot because of it. Right?
And do you think, like, for the next level, like, let's say in talking business, for the going to the next level, do you have to be seen and you have to be political or no?
You tell me. You tell me about Instagram and everything. Like so, like you're now everyone's in the public eye.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
so like if you're like a non-political person, it's like shit. I
Mhm.
might as well go buy a farm and
Mm. Raise some donkeys and
For me, like in the like a music business,
yeah.
you have to.
I know.
You have to.
I know.
Like they have to see your
I know.
music.
Yeah.
They have to see your face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
However, when you go to that stage, like I know
You're kind of like in the background.
so under the radar.
Yeah,
You're
As
not.
soon as people like they see you, they see your music.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will see a lot of people haters and
Yep.
but it's part of the game to go to the next level.
Totally. Well,
You have-
hey, firewood, right?
Yeah. See, remember, I use them as firewood to inspire me. You need that energy. You need them. Use them to burn
Right.
the energy. That's
Oh,
why
so
I
you take the wrong and you
and I
mix it-
split it into
right.
again. No, me never cross it. Say no, no. Take it and flip it.
Right.
Take the negative. and turn
I
it.
mean, like, dude, if you
Exactly.
look at what did Sarah's parents say to her? Like she's like, yeah, I want to start my own bakery. She's like, so this is what her parents said. You're lucky to have a job.
Mhm.
You have to pay your bills. You don't know anything about business. You don't have any talent. You don't have time. You don't have any money, and you're gonna end up broken on the street,
Mhm.
Bro, this is my intern voice.
right? Right? And so that's like like that's the hard part, man.
Yeah.
That's the hard part, and like that's where I'm convinced, yeah, okay, we're spiritually connected guys, sure, so we got that, but I don't want to say that like I was always like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's God's plan, like,
Yeah.
and I've never been like that dude, and you've never said that either. It's like
Mhm.
God's plan, it's
Mhm.
like, well, I'm not gonna come out there and say that, but I'm gonna say like, like once you start really like going, all right, like I don't really do my life, like we were
Mhm.
talking about this
Yeah.
earlier. It's like you want to think that you do, but
Right.
like Delroy's is like, well, we could be gone.
In the next hour, right? We can leave here. One of us could be gone,
Mhm.
right? Boom, just like that.
Right.
So
Like that's the thing is like so I think like the stronger that you can really go, okay, I trust in the process. I trust that like it's
That's
kind of
all.
it's like it's
Mhm.
kind of like it's a funny thing. You kind of got a little bit of control, but like you kind of got no control.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's a bit of
So
both.
that's why, yeah, it kind of become confusing because you don't know, like the pinball machine, bing, 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 bing.
Mhm.
So now you got to settle it, right? So you can make those good shots, right? So that's where meditation come into, bring yourself back to center because we go off, we float off.
How much should I trust the process?
Well, and
Well-
that's what I was about to say is that like so at this stage in my life, I'm just kind of like, yeah, man, I'm in,
Yeah,
I'm all in,
yeah,
and like it's hard, like especially if you're like, man, like when you're a type A person, I don't know if you know what type A means, but like type A is like you're on every fucking detail, like you're like
Like micromanaging? basically?
like you're just like you want to try and control everything, right?
And you
So
can't.
for like a type A person like myself to say that, like
Yeah.
that's a big jump,
Mhm.
you know, but I
Mhm.
think it comes with time.
Yes.
I think it comes
Everything
with
comes with time.
study.
Yeah, for sure.
It comes with the attempt to suppress your ego, and like it's letting go, and like it's hard when you're always like used to gripping the
right,
wheel.
right. That you don't want to, For me, it's like, man, go ahead, grip the wheel, and I'm versatile. I can drive. I can sit and be a passenger. You can drive Mr. Daisy, and yeah.
What I can 100% relate is like
Yeah.
my issue, my problem to hire employees.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm thinking, you know what, like, if whenever I hire someone, I'm just like, I'm never satisfied, and I'm just like, dude, what the heck, man?
Hmm.
You know, so
It's always going to be different. Like you
Yeah.
realize that there's no method currently where you can duplicate yourself.
That's right.
Maybe in the
which I would
future.
love to.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I don't know about that, dude. I don't know. I can only take so much of myself. I wouldn't want two of me, dude. You know.
Which is true. Like if I have like, let's say 10 people of
Yeah.
myself in
Yeah.
that room, I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna leave.
You would probably pull out a gun and shoot 9 of them.
Oh, wow.
It's so
cool.
true. Yeah,
I'm
which
just
is
being
so
real.
true.
Like
I'm gonna
so,
be like, dude, leave me alone. I
Yeah.
know exactly what I'm doing. And the other 9 guys would say the same thing.
so you just have to so you have to set the culture as the business leader, as the owner of the business. You set the culture, and that's all you have control over
Hmm.
is the culture.
Yeah. As long as you can keep the culture.
Yeah.
Streamline
How
and-
can you define the culture? It's like you set the vibe, if I say in
Yeah,
a
Totally.
recording
Yeah,
studio.
like I mean, like, dude, like our vibe at Detroit Scrap is like we wear like Metallica T-shirts or
Mhm.
fucking AC/DC, and like we call each other rock stars, and like we're always like, just having fun, man. Like so, like you gotta have like that sort of like heavy metal vibe. Like that's our thing.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's like so everything's like revolving around heavy metal, right? It's like so it's like that rocks, you rock, yeah, like this party, but like we get our shit done, right? It's like so it's like there's like this exterior
Yeah.
look to it, like it's like, oh, these guys are a bunch of freaking 80s rock fucking party animals or whatever, but on the inside it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Right.
Like we're so disciplined and we are so like detail oriented
Focus
that
on
they're
it,
like
yeah,
so it's like a facade.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's just
know?
like being on stage.
Mhm.
Like as an artist, you have a facade up on stage, But when I'm off stage, I'm just a regular guy.
Mhm.
But when I'm on there, I'm a different guy.
Right.
But I know when
It's
I
like
come off.
that personality that you create.
Right.
That it's a persona
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
like
that give 110%.
That's right.
your business and your art
Yeah.
is an extension of who
Extension of
you are.
Right.
And so if you're like the original owner of it, like this is an extension of who you are.
Right.
And so whoever comes in, like they have to kind of fit that culture.
Hmm.
Like you're not going to hire an accountant to
True.
come and work with you in the podcast studio.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
like it's like oil and water.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
don't
They don't-
fucking
it doesn't
mix.
mix.
Yeah,
man.
that would be like rigid and like I
Like you were saying
understand.
earlier, it's the way how they've been formatted. The way how they look at
Totally.
things is totally different, and you just got to understand that, right?
So like I wouldn't be worried about it. I would more trust that he's gonna give you a sign, and you need to be able to see
it.
that
Mhm.
sign
Hmm.
and go, "Hey man, I
Be
kind of
open.
like you. What
Right.
do you do?" "Well, I'm kind of looking for a job." And you're like, "Well, I kind of got looking for somebody to help me."
Hmm.
"Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I can come like maybe a couple hours a week or whatever." And so you start with a couple hours a week. You
Yeah,
know?
who sent you that person? So it's not coming from you, so it's coming from somewhere else too.
It just honestly, like all of my employees,
Yeah.
I have never advertised that I'm hiring, ever.
Yeah.
And I have like 8 employees, and it's just like, how did that happen? I'm like, well, I can only like, if you take away the ego
Mhm.
and say like, well, I don't know. There's only one answer. You're like,
Mhm.
well, it came from somewhere else.
Hmm.
And whatever you want to call that somewhere else,
Yeah.
whether it's God or spirit or
Whatever
energy
you
or
wanna
karma or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
came from somewhere else. I didn't make it happen, but I picked up on the sign. I was able to pick up on it. and go,
Right.
That's the way I came from.
That's right.
Totally.
So yes. So
That's-
did you get the answer to the question? No. Yeah.
Well, you completely changed my life.
Right.
So I can only agree.
Yeah.
But my ego want to say,
I did it. You know, I put in the work. I studied and I called people and I did.
Yes,
this.
you did.
because I did,
You
so
did.
everything
You-
happened.
You did. You actually did all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I have also another question is, my ego want to say also, well, okay, like those employees that you have,
Yeah.
maybe if you did advertise, maybe you will get better employees. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, the grass is always greener, man.
Mm.
And like, so that's when like the intuition.
Yeah.
So like, we didn't really talk too much about intuition today, but I mean, that's,
It's related too, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Intuition, idea.
Mhm.
It's kind of like almost the same thing, you know, I mean, that's like intuition is more of a feeling.
The feeling. Yep.
Whereas an
Right.
idea is like, you know, an intellectual thought, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's still related, but it's like still like a little bit different. So like I would say like there are two is like intuition is like, well, someone just said I can work for you, Noah.
Mhm.
And like what does your intuition say to you?
You're like maybe you know what? Like I feel like that could be a pretty good fit, or like
And
you
so-
know what?
so-
It's
so-
perfect moment.
So
Yeah.
like the thing is like it's kind of like you got to be fast at decision making.
Mm-hmm. But that comes with practice, and
And your ability to tap into
Right, to
the
tap in.
intuition.
I mean, I used to do commercials myself and my brother,
oh yeah, that's right,
and
man.
you know, it's funny because I was on set, and you know they have they provide food for you, you know, and you're the talent. So
Mhm.
I went up to the lady and I said, "Look, can I I ordered something," and I said, "Yeah." I said, "Thank you very much. I appreciate it." And she looked at me. She goes, "Do you have a brother?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my gosh, you guys' mannerism is so the same, so polite and all
That's
that."
awesome.
I said, "Thank you." I said, "That made me feel good hearing that about my brother." I said, "But this is a teaching that we got to respect." I said, "We appreciate that you're here, you know, providing the food for us. Yes, I'm the talent. I'm on stage, whatever, but I didn't allow my ego to be nasty and going in and becoming demanding. And I can imagine the ones who are in the industry that has gotten that ego, and they say, 'Oh yeah, he was a jerk, or she was a this and that.'"
Mhm.
But that wasn't my attitude, and it was so fulfilling hearing her say that about my brother and about myself, because I know that we had good teaching.
By your manner, she knew that you have a brother.
Yeah, because
Okay.
my brother was, I guess she came across
Well,
my brother doing
they-
another commercial.
Like they're
Okay,
So we
okay,
would-
okay,
yeah.
okay,
they,
okay, okay.
they also look similar ish, you
Yeah.
know, like so she
Yeah.
put two and two together.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
she would ask me because I've never met this person. I just was the way I went up, and I was polite. I was respectful to them. I appreciate that they were here.
Right. Okay.
So giving gratitude to them instead of treating them like, oh, you know, you're a piece of whatever just because I'm a talent guy and I'm up there doing
Mhm.
a commercial. Why should I behave that way? Why should I treat you like that?
Because you should always lead with your ego.
Yeah, because you no.
I just-
You know
I don't.
I just checked you.
I did this. I was
He's
like,
like,
okay,
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
this is the dark side, the dark Vader of
Yeah,
Brad.
yeah.
But you see, it goes to show you, right? I didn't have to behave that way. I didn't let my ego take over. I humbled it down because I'm grateful for the fact that they're here. And if it wasn't for those people, we'd be starving. So why should I treat them terrible? No, I'm glad you're here. You know, and they treat the talents really good. You know, can I get you this? Can I get? I said, no, I can get it.
Mhm.
But that's their job to get you. But no, I wanted the people to feel, no, I can get up and do it myself too.
Yep.
You know, I got hands. You know, no need for you to get up there and do it for me. So for them, it's like a relief. Like, oh my gosh, right? No, why should I
Mhm.
be that way? Yes, I'm the talent. Yeah, I'm making money on it. But does that give me the reason to treat you like you're garbage? No.
So- being humble.
being humble.
Mhm.
And that's how she asked me if I had a brother, because she came across him
Yeah, and,
and
like it was a
didn't
very
know.
similar.
Similar mannerisms,
Yeah.
similar thank you so much and appreciation. And that's why she asked me the question. I said, yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
So
so
you're
like,
like,
that's the
wow.
thing is like is like if you want to really like get into business, you know, and think that you're gonna do it to get rich, which like again, like we ask a lot of people. I was just
Yeah.
watching our college tour presentation the other
Right.
day where we went in the audience is like,
Yeah.
well, what's the purpose of a business?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
oh, get rich.
Yeah.
Get money, make money.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh man, like ooh, like we got a serious problem here, you know. And like so like you've heard the saying like you're doing it for the wrong reasons,
Right. Right.
you know,
Yeah,
like
those are
you're,
right
you're
reasons.
doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And like the wrong reason is like you're starting a business to make money, you know. And like it's like, well, but isn't that the point of a business? It's a part
Not of the business.
it's a part of the business, not the point of the business.
Because you can also have like let's say, you can say is to create
Yeah.
to create jobs.
Yeah,
You know,
you know.
that could be part of it.
Or to help humanity, you know,
Mhm.
like to help
Solve a
people
problem, right?
more
Solve a
comfortable,
problem, yeah.
get, you know, feel better, like
Yeah.
whatever it might be, you know. And like so like that's like the purpose of the business, and like what comes with that is by providing that service
and
is like
yeah.
like people just can't keep coming up to you and giving you a hug for saying like, oh, thank you for your bread, you know. It's like
Mhm.
like it's just kind of like weird if everybody just keeps hugging you and you give them a loaf of bread and they hug you.
I would want them to hug me. No problem.
I mean, like eventually, like you get too many hugs, and you're like, "Look,
Yeah.
dude, I'm starting to feel like a whore here." You know, like,
Oh, give me the hug. I'll take the hug.
You know.
Thank you.
But you know, like that feeling when you receive a text
Yeah.
and then like from a client, say
It's a
like,
hug.
"Hey, Noah, thank you so much." I
Yeah.
really,
totally,
you know, like, the way I sleep, it's different.
Right.
It's different. Like
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
totally, and like that's what lets you know that you're on the
The
right
right track.
path and,
Yeah.
and you're doing the right thing,
You
and
got
and
it.
like so then like you have to accept the money and go, this is just a hug. It's just a form of like it's like the business form of a
Right.
hug.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When someone cuts you a check and you're just like, you just gotta go, thank you, you know.
That's a part of it because,
Yeah.
you know, I always say to these guys, why are you taking this position? Well, I want to make money. And I go, wrong answer. You're taking it for the wrong reason.
Mm.
You're not taking it because you want to help someone to grow and to be better. Your main focus is what you want to make money. It's already a part of it. It's already a part of the equation. It's not the focus of it. You are there to lead people. You're there to teach them and to educate them. The money is already there for you already. So don't put the money in front.
So
Right.
when you're getting the check, you have to have a different perspective on getting the money, or a different mindset when you're getting the money. Let's say,
I
if
think
you
you have
give
to
me-
you have to feel worthy of it, you know. It's like I think like that's certainly a mindset that I had to change. Is like I was like, man, like, you know, I do this. I kind of want to just do this for free, you
Mhm.
know, and like I like, you know what I mean. Like you almost
Mhm.
feel bad, like you're like, ooh man, like why am I making this money?
Mhm.
But like you have to then switch over and just be like, you have to be able to accept it and say I'm worthy because I've provided a
Yes.
great deal of
Service.
service.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was just about to say.
Or
that,
or
right?
I've solved problems, or
Right.
you know, like those two, right? And like,
That's okay.
but like I think like if you can really get to that level of ego suppression and go like, you know, I didn't really do it, you know, like it was just like,
It's a gift.
you know, it was my team that did it.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
like I'll
Mhm.
often
Exactly.
I'll often say that. I'm
Exactly.
like, well,
Your team.
people are like, man, you're a successful dude. I'm like, no, like
Well-
my team is just really good.
Mhm.
You know?
Exactly. I mean, they said the same thing in the band when, you know, people used to come and watch the band live and, you know, they see us performing and stuff and they go, oh man, it should be, you know, you're the one. I said, no. I said, that's not how it works. I said, we are a group. And yes, you like the way how I perform and what I do, but I am not doing this by myself.
Mhm.
There's other people here, the guitar player, the drummer, the keyboard player. Without them, I cannot do what I need to do. Without my other partner, the other
Mhm.
singer, then can't do it. So I've always corrected people when they try to steer it my way. I said, no, we're a team. Some people say, yeah, you know, I never would listen to reggae, but the way you guys fuse it, wow. And then some of the other people would say, well, I wouldn't really listen to rock, but the way you guys did it.
Mhm.
So again, it's a combination, a marriage.
Well, and that really speaks to like your dilemma. You're like,
Yeah.
like, should I hire someone? You know, like they're not gonna do it how I would do it. Guess what, dude? Fucking nobody's gonna do it. how
Nobody's
you
gonna
would
do it because you're you, and that's why he's saying to you, you need to do you, and not comparing yourself to somebody else, because no one is gonna be like you.
But some people they would do it better. You know,
That's them.
they have like a better ability to
Different.
do. Yeah,
They do
it's
it.
different, but
And that's
Don't-
okay.
Like see, like saying better is like then you're moving into competitive.
Yeah.
hmm
So if you say different, then you're on the creative side. So you really want to try and
Right.
like determine the different. Like you're like, well,
Yeah.
how am I looking at this? Am
Yeah.
I looking at this competitively, which we already said is it's not a good side to be on because like that's ego side.
Yeah.
Or is this creative? Okay,
Yeah.
like so that's what I always say is like,
Yeah.
man, like there's a whole bunch of different people that make all these different drinks out here.
Yeah.
Why are there like a million different types of drinks that you can buy?
All
Like-
products, right?
Pepsi, Coca-Colas,
You name it.
There's new ones coming
Come on.
out every day. Like
Yeah.
I keep seeing
true.
like the
Yeah.
like I'm like you know on LinkedIn like people are always posting like oh look at this new drink and like I'm like holy shit man
Mhm.
like I see like new beverages
Yeah.
coming out every day. I'm like
it's different.
I didn't know that was a thing.
hmm
Like they're differentiating, but also it's a hyper competitive marketplace
Mhm.
because like it's like I don't know like. I don't need 15 different varieties of a freaking beer, you know? Like, just
Yeah.
give me a light beer. I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
you
don't
know?
put no strawberry in the beer. Leave the beer alone.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the strawberry in the beer.
Hey, nobody asked you no.
Yeah.
Why would you want to say that one?
Come
we
on.
do that in France a lot.
Oh, you do, eh?
We're,
Peach,
we're gonna edit,
yeah,
we're gonna
strawberry,
edit
yeah.
this part.
Yeah. I,
This part's getting edited.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is like so like if that's a fact, right? If that's a fact that like there's a whole bunch of different businesses out there that are
Yeah.
doing like relatively the same thing, and whether you perceive it as competitive or creative, so like if you can identify like from your experience, again, like we have to really stress the experience.
Yeah.
Like, so like before you can really shift into like entrepreneurship, you need to go and get some experience,
Mhm. Yeah.
and so like, again, we were talking about the 10,000 hours.
Mhm.
That's when you become a pro at
Mhm.
whatever. And again, no one's going to tell you, and like, so you were saying, oh, I'm not a pro. I'm like, yeah, you are.
Yes,
You're
you
like,
are.
I'm not. I'm like,
Yes, you are.
well, you kind of are, dude. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, and again, like the analogy that I brought was like, so like the NFL, right? It's like there's like thousands of, NFL football players.
Yeah.
They're all professionals.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is a professional football player
Player.
playing for the National Football League, right? And so now, are there differences between those few thousand players?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure. But guess what? They're all pros.
Right.
Every single one of them, even like the lowest paid guy. Guess what? If someone asks him, well, what do you do for work? He's like, I'm a pro football player.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at, Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? I'm a pro football player.
Yeah.
It's the same answer.
Yeah.
Totally different
Yeah.
skill sets, but they're still pros.
And that's good to have the different skill set. That's the reason what makes us different as human beings. We're different, and that's okay. We have to learn to understand that. The way I do it, you may not do it the same way. You might, but I want you to do it the way that fits you. I will give you the roadmap. Now adjust it to you, right? I do it differently, but that's okay. If you want to put the pillow this way, that's okay too. But this is how I do it.
Mhm.
But that's just my way of doing it. Now, if you want to copy it or use it, great. But you could find your own way and do it the way you want to do it. As long as you get to the result that we want, it doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah.
And I learn to respect people that way. And I tell them, this is how I do it. Not for you, but if you like it, great. You want to utilize it, by all means take it and utilize it. But this is how I do it.
Mhm.
However you do it, I'm going to respect that too.
Mhm.
At the end, you're going to get to the end, the same result, and do it your way.
Well, and what you do great is leading by example.
Leading by example. Exactly. You lead by example. you're a winner all the
Yeah,
time.
you don't even say a word. Like you'll just put your head down.
I just do it. And either you keep up or you fall behind. Keep up or you fall behind. I'm leading by example.
and so like, but again, you know, it's because you're different, and
That's
like,
okay.
and you're not afraid of judgment
Mm.
or ridicule.
Yeah.
You know, but like that takes a big person to be able to do that, which you've been able to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just like, it doesn't matter,
what you do.
what people say.
Yeah.
Like again, like you were saying, is like, no matter what you're doing, if you're, man, like, dude, we're doing a lot of good shit, and there's still people that talk shit.
Yep.
And like,
Yeah.
like it hurts, you know, but you're like, dude, we're just doing good, but like, people don't give a shit. Like you know,
Yeah.
I mean, even Jesus, dude, you know, like, come on, like, he
Yeah.
was just trying to do good, right? And like,
And then he get crucified. It's so true. It's
Yeah.
so insane.
you
Yeah.
know, and that's all I'm saying, man. Like, this is from a Jewish dude, you know. Like, I think Jesus was awesome, man, and like, there's just, you know, your haters are gonna hate.
They're
you
gonna
know?
hate, and I'm going. Where's your thing to show me? So,
Yeah.
No, you don't have nothing, but you're gonna spend time judging what I'm doing. Well, where's your creativity? Where's your?
Even when you give like a,
Oh
see,
yeah.
I gave you an example.
Yeah.
Like once a month, I give Microsoft Office for free,
Mm-hmm.
just like on Facebook group.
Mm.
Like, hey everyone, I'm giving free Microsoft Office. That cost me $120.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That cost me $120. I give it for free.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few people like, hey, I'd love to have that. Thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And I have a lot of people, which is more
Mm-hmm.
than the other person, but that hurts more. But they say like, oh, that guy will send you like some fucking viruses.
scam or whatever,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
It's a scam. Look at the profile. Nothing's matching. Bro, you doing good, man.
Exactly. And if you're doing good,
But you know what?
exact-
It still hurts though.
It hurts, man.
Yeah.
And like, that's like, we're still human beings, and like, we have feelings, you know, and or at least I don't know if you're a human being, dude.
No,
I
I'm
think
not
you're a
human
robot.
being.
Hell
You're
yeah.
a
I'm a
robot.
robot.
You know,
It doesn't matter what you do.
because
That's
you always
what-
talk about AI, dude. I think AI is taking you over, man.
Yeah, it is. I am not a human. I am AI.
It's like the Matrix,
Yeah.
Neo.
It doesn't matter what you do, good bro. There's always gonna be people who have something to say because they're not doing anything.
Right.
They only their job is to sit there to criticize and to say things. But where's your stuff? Show me something that you're doing. You're not doing anything to solve anything, to do nothing. Or I hate it when I go on. No, I dislike when I go on to YouTube looking to fix something or looking for something, and then you read the comments about people saying these things, right? But I'm saying you learned something from that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that person did what they did. I didn't get all the answers. That means you go look at another video.
Yeah.
And you go look at another one, and then holy moly, then everything comes together. But everyone is given something.
Yeah.
But for you to sit there
Still
and,
provide value.
yeah, disrespecting them and saying something, I don't see any video that you're putting up to try to help anybody, and you're coming looking for help, and someone took the time to do that.
Mhm.
Give them a little bit of respect and say, hey, thank you. You know, I didn't get everything that I need, but at least I know how to open up that thing. Before you never knew anything how to open up, but you got something.
Right.
But
Yeah.
why are you leaving a negative comment?
Because it
But-
could be shocking, maybe because you're walking good
Yeah.
and you're doing business a certain way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're
Yeah.
doing good. They want to come and rip you down, right?
Mhm.
So that's their ego, right? So you got to block that stuff out. And that I love them. I love them, you know, because you know what I do? No, me never cross it. Say no, no. Yeah.
Turns it into
Bring it, baby.
creativity.
So you just like walk over it. Let's say
I
you
walk-
have like the
Absolutely.
I mean, like,
just like, okay, you
like,
knowledge
dude,
it, and then-
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and
Yeah.
and like, that's why Delroy talks about it all the time. Is like, he meditates in the morning, he stretches, he takes
Mhm.
his time, you know, he
Mhm.
breathes, and like, he
Mhm.
gets ready to be attacked every day.
Every
you know?
day.
Like, and like,
On the road.
that's the thing again, is like, you know, like, kind of like the more you get into the public eye, or like the more successful you become, like
Ooh.
like the arrows start coming, man.
Yeah.
And like,
Mhm.
it's your ability to fucking block them and
Right.
fuck, like, you know, pull them out and be like, all right, I'm still
Right.
alive.
which
you
it
know?
makes sense. Like you know that's gonna happen no matter what.
Yes, no
So you
matter
have
what.
to come. You have to come outside prepare I come outside naked.
Right.
I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going from like I don't do bad, so like I'm pretty like nice.
Yeah.
I'm doing like nice thing, so
Yeah.
I'm expecting
Everybody
people
should be
will not
nice.
shoot at me.
Yeah.
See, that's the
Everybody-
But they still do, yeah.
See, that's the problem right there. You're expecting.
yeah. I
Don't
mean,
expect anything, bro. Just
But again, it's like just part of a test. Again,
Mm-hmm.
like we've talked about this before. Like you're kind of like, man, like this is a wacky world, It's like, why can't we all just get along?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why can't we
Yeah.
just love each other? And,
Yeah.
and he's just like, well, like that'd be kind of a boring story. It'd be, like I'm just being real. I mean, it'd be kind of boring, right? It's like,
Which is
Wow.
true.
I mean, if everybody loved each other, like you walk out the door, hey, I love you, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I love you.
What's wrong with that?
Hey, do you want a hug? Yeah, I love you.
Yeah, come on, man. Give me a hug, brother. How you
And,
doing, man?
like someone comes with a briefcase. Here, no, I have some money. And
Right on.
hey, how about it? Do you want a new car? Hey, have this.
Sure.
And you're just like, it's just boring.
It's so true.
It's boring if you get everything you want and like everything's easy and like so like that's why it's a hard thing to wrap your mind around. Is like a lot of people can say like, oh, this is hell, and I'm like, depends on how you look at it,
You choose it to be hell, then hell will be.
Then you're right.
You're right. It is hell, but it ain't hell for me. Because I'm
Mhm.
waking up in the morning, ready to go
Go serve.
to serve, preparing. Yeah. Who's this guy? Oh, no. You look like Denzel Washington. The Equalizer. I said, all right, then I look like the Equalizer. So you know how the Equalizer work, right? Serving, baby. That's what it is. People just, again, I affect them each and every day, because I come, I don't expect anything. I'm giving up my time. I'm singing, I'm doing things, and they're like, oh my gosh, you made my day. I'm giving. I say, thank you so much.
And all you're doing is you're fucking hoping that one of them
One.
will be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be happy like him.
Yep.
That they're gonna jump from the dark side to the,
Yeah.
and how many have jumped?
I can't, I stopped counting.
Yeah.
When someone said to me, oh my gosh, you made my day last week. Oh, you made my day. You're one of the happiest person on the planet. I say, yes, best I am, because I was singing, having a good time. I didn't care. I was just doing my job, getting down, and it inspired them.
Mhm.
Because like, oh my gosh, who's this guy? I said, well, the moment I woke up and my feet touched the ground, I said, hey, thanks.
Another day.
Another day. What can we do? How can we be positive to somebody else? Because the more I give, the more I get back.
But like there's still like a bunch of people that like
Yeah.
are like, oh, he's on crack. or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
And
yeah.
like seriously, like there's
Oh.
people talking shit about him,
Oh,
and like
That's okay.
and so I think like what you said, Noah, is like, it's well put. Is that like you have to expect it, like
It's a part of it, yeah.
and I think we spoke about Detroit last time, where
Yeah.
like you kind of gotta expect that you're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
And, like
So what are you
Mhm,
saying?
mhm.
What are you saying? Don't go to Detroit? Is that what you're trying to say? No, he's not. He's not saying that. He's not saying
no,
that.
dude.
But
I
yes.
think everyone should go on vacation to Detroit. Forget Hawaii.
Oh, yeah?
Go to Detroit.
Yeah.
It's way.
What's the reason?
Because you might get shot. Did you hear what the man said?
You-
he's just kidding.
Would you like to get shot?
Well,
Come to Detroit.
That's
would you
the
like
new
a silver
marketing
bullet
video.
or would you like a gold bullet? Take your pick. But you know that when I use the bullet, like Chris Rock said, give me my bullet back. It cost me $500 for the
Yeah,
bullet.
man. That was expensive.
He
But
said-
so like that's the thing, man. Is like, so it's just like, you want to make something better, you want to do something different, you want to stand out from the rest of the sheep, like that you want to. You're like, I can do something special, and I am special, and I have experience, and I have knowledge, and I want to share it with the world, and I want to make something better. Then fucking do it.
We're all special. We're all deserving of it.
Like, don't just
So-
sit there smoking joints all day, sitting on the couch, expecting a bag of money to land on your lap. It's not gonna land. It's not gonna land. You got to do something. Like, you got to tap into that, and then you have to move into action.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to block out the noise. And sometimes it's family members that will try and, again, the example of Sarah, like, we just ran down all those horrible things that her freaking family told her, basically that she sucks. And
Yeah.
it's like,
You'll never do it.
but then they're living in a trailer, and you're
Mhm.
like, I don't know, I think you guys suck. So I'm gonna stop listening to you, and it's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
It's hard.
Because these are the people that you love, and then
Yeah.
Sarah got a big mansion, and then you're still living in a trailer, and then you want to come to Sarah, and you want to get some money,
Mhm.
and Sarah said, "Well, wait a second, hold on, let me pull out the pager. Remember you told me that I suck and I didn't have the experience and I didn't have a
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, bye."
Can you just sign that for me?
Yeah, yeah.
Like all those things that you told me.
Yeah.
Oh no, they'll come and go. Sarah, I always believed in you.
Yeah.
I knew you can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I
too.
knew you can do it, liar.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but again, you utilize those as firewood.
Mm.
See, they're there for a purpose. Don't hate on them. They're there as to drive you to go ahead and do it when they're telling you that. So that's how I look at it. I use them as a firewood. It's more negative. Yeah, okay.
Well, like, because
So they-
like it's really like an individual journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're like, yeah, I got my family, and I have a lot of friends, but like nobody can see inside of here.
Right.
And like so like you can explain it to them, and like they're like, yeah, cool, pass the chips.
Yeah.
And you're like, but didn't you hear what I said there? Like, yeah,
Until you show them.
just give me the chips, dude.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. And you're like, but doesn't that sound cool? They're like you're not gonna get the same response.
Mhm.
Like, and that's where you kind of just have to internalize a lot of it. And then like we were talking about in this chapter is like that entrepreneurial fire.
Right. Just go do it.
The fire that like so it's burning inside of you.
Yeah.
And again, those people that like hate on you, they're shooting the arrows at you every day. It actually makes you stronger.
That's right. You need them. You need those arrows being shooting on you.
Because then like that makes the fire burn bigger.
That's right.
It's like, so that's the thing
Fires
is
you.
like
Right.
they can't put the fire out by shooting at you, because like wooden arrows,
That's right.
don't they burn in a
Mm-mm.
fire?
Mhm.
Pretty
no.
sure like a wooden arrow,
Mhm.
when you shoot into a fire,
It
it burns,
Right.
Right.
right? And so the fire gets bigger. So that's the reality,
That's
man.
your motivation right there. They're there all the time around you. Use them, but you have to learn how to recognize them, that they're there to serve a purpose for you, not to go against you, but to serve a purpose. Sarah's family telling her all this stuff. Firewood, baby.
Well,
Go prove it wrong.
It's almost like if I went to another level,
Yeah.
I'll be like, whenever I saw like those haters and like all this noise around me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, perfect. That's the perfect sign. That means I'm
You're on-
almost getting
You
there.
on the right
Oh,
track.
yeah, I'm on the right track. Yeah.
Ah,
Nice.
So now I
see?
can use them
Now you're getting it.
as a tool.
well, and also like you just got to remember, it's like a test of like how are you going to transmute that energy,
Right.
like so like are you going to get angry and start blogging
Yeah,
on that,
yeah,
like
yeah,
like
yeah.
Right.
like talk like they
Yeah.
talk shit on the internet, and then you go and talk shit back, like that was a test. Is
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not going to respond.
That's
I'm
right.
going to
Mhm.
take
Take it.
it and shift it. I'm going
Mhm.
to come up with a new song.
No, me never cross it. Say no, me never cross it. Me never cross it. Me never cross it. And the olive with the bread, yes, me cross it.
Yeah.
That's really, again,
Come get your $6.
come get your $6. Yeah.
Right, and
But-
so that's what it is, man. It was like you got to believe in yourself. That's a big deal.
And that's where it is. Good. Yeah, you have to believe. Where did it start? It starts from you. Starts from one. Remember we were talking about one? Yeah, start with one
Yeah,
and then two.
and like I think like Noah, you brought up a good point. You're like, well, wait a minute, like so like when you trust, like what do you got to do, and you just say thank you,
Yeah.
and like so, but like the thing is like when you continually get this cool stuff, these great ideas that then manifest into
Mhm.
reality.
Yeah.
Like not only are you thankful, but like like you start to trust that
The process.
he's your buddy
Mhm.
or she or
Whatever you wanna-
whatever you want to.
But I also want to, there's something I'm missing is like, I also want to give back.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
You
that's
know,
when
like
you-
if I receive,
so,
I
so
receive.
then hire
That's right.
hire
There's
someone.
There's no
Right.
way I'll just say like, okay, thanks.
That's right.
No,
Appreciate it.
hire someone.
Right.
That's giving back.
It's a form of giving back.
Well, one of the greatest mitzvahs in Judaism is to hire someone.
Mhm.
Is because you're putting food on their table.
Right.
Food is sacred,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you're putting food on their table. Like not actually physically, you're making them dinner.
They're gonna go work to
You're,
make
yeah,
the money.
you're
to
giving
put-
you're giving them a paycheck so they can go to
Yeah,
Safeway and buy the food that they need.
I love that, but there's something that's popping up on my mind right away. It's a fear.
I know.
What about if I?
I know.
So now I'm
So you're not
I'm thinking
trusting.
like
You're-
that
you're-
person.
You
Yeah.
just
Like I'm
shifted to
give-
believe, you know.
Right.
You believe
Right.
or you trust.
Yeah.
And it's scary, dude.
It's either you're in or you're out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Because
Like,
I'm hiring them.
Yeah.
I'm so happy because now I can picture the family. I give them food on the table. The person still gets to relax.
Right. Yeah.
But now, what if that person is not doing something right? Have to get rid of them.
like
So
I
I'm
mean,
thinking I can see the wife and the kids scared now. I'm thinking, okay, see if I have to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
but like that's not trusting, you know. Is like so like you gotta believe in yourself first, you know. Like, so do you believe in yourself or no?
I would say maybe 65%. You see, honestly.
I'm about a 60. I'm a solid 65
Well, I'm at
today.
65, but I'm working towards getting to 100. But at least I'm at 65.
Okay, well,
Well, you know,
that's a good start. dude.
Yes.
Good start.
I said good 65 is a good start. At least you're not saying I'm 40 because we still got some work to do. But 65 is a good starting point there.
So like let's go back to like yesterday. You know, as like, so did you make money yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you make money today?
Yes.
Are you gonna make money tomorrow?
Yes.
What about the next day?
I will.
You know what I mean? It's like, so that's what I'm saying is like your answer is like a 65% answer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just being real. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
like you have to just like once you can just say, yeah, of course. And then it's like, so then why don't you hire somebody? Because like you just answered like, yeah, I'm gonna make money, like, and I do make enough. I could probably hire someone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the cool thing is that like you're thinking like my income is going to stay the same, and I'm gonna hire someone, and I'm gonna increase my expenses. But what happens is your income grows when you hire someone. That's the part that you're blocking. You're just looking at the expense part, thinking that everything's going to stay the same. But we just talked about your hourly rate going up.
Yeah.
You're going to have to increase your hourly rate to make up for the salary that you're paying. But also that person is going to do things that are, you know, like we were talking about margin analysis. They're going to do things that take away from your ability to earn more revenue. You know,
But there's two things. Like if I'm thinking, so I can tell you, because this is like real life,
Yeah.
right? So
is it?
I hire.
Or is this a giant hallucination? I often,
That's the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's the Matrix.
I think it's a hallucination, dude. This is not real. You know?
Get off drugs,
I
kids.
hire someone. Let's say I do hire someone. So the two things I'm thinking is like, that's gonna take me forever
To train them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
And then the second thing would be, so I do hire someone. People right now, they're always like negotiating the price and then like, oh, can you go lower? Blah, blah, blah. So if I do put a higher price on my products and services, I mean, they're still gonna negotiate. But now I'm hiring someone. So now I don't want to go to a point where I'm just doing a break even and I hire an employee
Right.
and then I hire the prices. So all the other clients, they won't be like really happy.
But
when
then
you get
like
an increase.
what if you have like another studio? Like, because like the only way that like how your thing works is like you can only, you know, make so much money in a day because everything's by the hour, right?
Yeah.
And so like the only way for you to expand that is to have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 studios. Then all of a sudden you've expanded your, you know, right?
Right. Okay.
And like that's the only way that you can do it, because like right now you're
Duplication.
fixed. You're fixed is like you're like, well, the only way I can make money in my only one studio is I have to charge more. And you're like, well, but if I charge more, I might lose clients.
But when you say that, I feel like, okay, I get it, but now I'm multiplying problems. So I had like one issue, So now I have another studio. So all my issue will, I will fix something,
Yeah.
but now I will have like more clients. I will have another.
You should just stay in bed then.
No, no, of course no.
Just stay in bed
No.
because like in bed is nice and
Warm,
comfortable.
No,
comfortable. Your pillow soft.
No,
It's
I can't.
hard, dude. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's meant to be that hard. And you have a brain. You're tapped into intelligence that will help you come up with ideas and concepts on how to make it work.
So the more you grow, the more you will have problems.
Yeah,
That's what
man,
you're saying.
for sure, dude. You know, like that's just how it goes.
Mhm.
More money, more problems.
Right.
More
know?
money,
Yeah.
more problems. More
Um,
problems.
I mean, like I don't like. I just think it's like just growth. You know, like growth in general, man, is like the only way to grow is to feel uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, growing pains, right?
Yeah.
You know, as a human, as a baby, we grow, our body stretches, you know.
So if you have more problem, is that a sign that you can? That this is also the next level?
Yeah, for sure it is, man. Like, cause like, you know, when you started your business, like in your bedroom, and you had like one customer, like it was pretty simple.
Mhm,
And they
Yeah.
called you, and you called them. It was just
Mhm.
one person.
mhm.
Then all of a sudden you have two customers, and you're like, still easy, you know. Like, so you had 2 phone calls a day.
Right.
Then you have 4 customers. You know, like,
Because it's
I mean-
multiplying.
and,
So it's almost like you have to be grateful of the problem.
dude, you got
So-
like that's a wonderful problem to
Because
have.
people look at it as a problem, it's not really a
Oh
problem.
God, I
They're
have
like, say that.
I make too much money. Oh no, man. You know, it's just like
It's a good problem.
I mean, like it's a lot of work for sure, dude. Like, I mean, my days, like shit, fucking on the phone all day. You know, I'm just like, but it's like fun. I'm like doing biz with my buddies, you know.
Yeah.
But like by the end of the day, I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
right? Yeah. I can
Because
understand that.
yeah, exactly. You just need to go and relax now and meditate now because you're talking all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like whether it's employees or customers or whatever. But like, I mean, that is just part of like your conditioning is like, so it's like becoming like a Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
Did he know how to use his lightsaber from day one? Fuck no, dude. He almost cut his ear off, you know? Yeah.
Oh man,
Right?
we got a bleeder.
Right? And so eventually he became
Good at
fucking awesome, man.
again repetition. Nobody starts off good. You start off. Nobody sees behind the scenes. Is when you know they have those out cuts behind the scene cuts where you see, oh man, you know the guy was trying to do the jump and he falls and you know Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
I love when they show the outtakes at the end of the movie. You see, you know, how he stumble, falls, trying to get through the window, and you know something
Sometimes you
happens.
go to the hospital.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah,
you see
exactly,
him.
right. So there you go, right there. They cut out those parts, but they show it to you at the end. I love when they do that because it goes to show it's not as easy for what it is when you get that take for what you got to go through all these things in order
Yeah.
to get that one take.
See, that remember me so much about that podcast. It's the backstage
Yeah,
of the actual business.
yeah,
It's like all the issue that I'm facing, and then like everyone's facing,
yeah.
and then it's also so good because what I'm facing, 1,000%,
Yes,
you faced it before.
exactly.
That's 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean, but like the thing is, like, it's like there's no going backwards, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, you know,
Forward.
it is like so. You just have to really condition yourself to get better at decision making, faster at processing information, you know, more tapped into intuition,
Mhm.
so that like then all of a sudden like you are like a ninja when shit's flying at you.
So that comes with time and with practice.
And then you do it like blindfolded.
Yeah. Once
you know?
you've mastered it, yeah.
And like that's what it is. And like so like I mean, you actually you can't stop this thing that you're doing, this podcast studio, this your studio for musicians.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stop it.
Mhm.
You know, like let's say like you didn't come here for like a week, people would still be calling you. When are you
Mhm.
coming back?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't stop the momentum, right? It can only. So I often use I like to use like a train wheel. So like a wheel on a train as an example of
I see.
of starting a business, right? It's like so when a train is sitting there, like if you're just looking at the wheel, it's not moving at all,
Mm-hmm.
but yet it is. It's like very slowly starting to turn, very slow, and then like, I can see it's like turning a little bit. But like that wheel is like the origin of a business, you know. It's like it's just like it's barely turning at the start, you know. Then it starts to like, you know, starts going, and then all of a sudden it went around once. Now it's starting to pick up speed, and so is it easier when it's going faster, or is it harder when it's going faster?
It's harder when it starts.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's harder. Like when the thing's spinning fast, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, like I was saying, like you got one customer.
Yeah.
But like as that wheel is spinning faster and faster, man, it's like so something has to change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you. Right?
Yeah, we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
With even just doing this.
Yeah.
Same thing we talk about. You develop it nice and slow to get all the pieces together, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long have we been doing this?
Like, man, like seems like 4 or 5 years or something, man. It's been a while, you know. We lost this soldier for a year.
But the wheel is turning still, you know.
And we're just getting better, man.
Yeah.
Is like so that's the thing, like, but then like it progressively gets like more intricate, and there's more to it, you know. It always evolves. It doesn't evolve backwards, like, you know.
Time goes forward, not goes backwards.
Right? It's like so every time that we come here, it's always better.
Yeah.
Every time is better,
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
Like and so like that's the thing, is like, you know, is like just be okay with that, you know, embrace it, you know, really embrace it, because like you're fortunate. If your phone is ringing all day,
That's
you're
a good
fortunate.
thing. That's a good thing. Yep.
You should actually count your blessings, dude,
Yeah.
and just be like, you know what, I'm so fortunate. And guess what? That's why I say, I'm just like, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is incredible. You know, like it's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
You know, like there's a lot of, you know, work that goes into
That's
it.
right.
But like the reward is like,
Because
well
life
worth it.
is just not business. I mean, business, it's part of life,
Right.
but there's all the thing around as well.
of course, man. Of course.
All connected.
I don't even have kids, but let's say if I do have kids, oh my God, I think that
You might have some out there that you don't know about, you know,
true.
down in Mexico.
But they're waiting for you to get really, really big to say, "That's my daddy.
mi padre.
Yeah, he's got money." Yeah, he's got money. ¿Qué pasa? I think I am your daddy. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like that's it. Is like so I think, like, you know, kind of closing this thing out is really like, man, if you're into something, you know, and you see a problem that you can solve, you have the experience, you have the intuition, you have the feeling, you have an idea, you're inspired, do it.
Yeah. Just go and do it. Put action to it.
When do you know that is the good moment?
There's never a good moment, you know, like, and that's the hard thing, is I've coached a lot of people into
Yeah.
like entrepreneurship, and they're like, well, you see, like what I'm trying to do is I got a job right now, and then like what I think I'm gonna do is like do a little bit of that, and I'm like,
Right.
it's never a good time.
No.
It's never a good time. Like, oh, I just had a kid, and you know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and I go,
Always freaking something. Oh,
and that's why I said, is like, like if it wasn't this excuse, it's gonna be a different
Another
excuse.
one. Another one. Another one.
So like then,
so is that an excuse then?
yeah,
not doing it?
everything's an excuse for sure. You know, is like, and so like eventually, like you get to like you're 72 years old, and you're like, well, now I'm too old to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you continue.
And then, yeah, you start having regrets because you've been making so much excuses.
But you're still making excuses, like,
Yeah.
well, I'm 72.
Well, now it's-
I'm gonna
yeah.
die soon.
yeah,
It's
so
like,
there's
well,
no point. No, it's never too late.
like so then all of a sudden, like you kept holding on to the same vision, and you never let it come to fruition. You know, like
Right.
even in 72, like, dude, you still got another 30 years at
Yeah.
least. You know, maybe 20. Like, why not enjoy your last 20? Well, I'm too old. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, and like so that's the thing, is like, be ready for opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, is like, so if you expect the opportunity to come, it's gonna be there. If you don't expect it to be there, it's not gonna be there.
Mhm.
Right.
Right?
But when it's here, then you have to be ready.
You have to fucking grab it, dude.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
Seize the moment.
Like then it just keeps going by and by and by, and then you keep missing all these
Right.
opportunities.
And who knows when it's going to circle back around.
Well, that's why also like you have to be really fast in decision making.
Yeah.
as you
Oh,
were
that's
saying
what. Yeah,
earlier.
that's what he's saying earlier.
I remember like when I first came here in Canada, I was working at Subway. You know, like sandwich. Subway.
Yeah.
Some people they took like I swear like 7 minutes.
Well, there's probably a lot of stoners going into Subway though, dude.
Oh, I don't know, but I remember this lady. It was like she was buying an apartment on Miami Beach. I swear, I was like, bro, it's a sandwich. It was like, I think I will take the.
That's amazing.
I was like,
You should like have like a stopwatch. Oh, sorry, your time's up. You gotta leave now.
Well, it's just like
I'm thinking like, hopefully, I'm not doing this, like on my decision, but for sure, I'm doing it somewhere. I'm doing it.
yeah.
Like why I'm not hiring employees.
So guess how you get better at decision making?
Start to take way more decision.
Reps. Yeah, like the more decisions, the better you
Right.
become at it, right? It's like so like that's why it's like one of those things. Like you're like, well, why should I hire someone? I'm like, well, your path is only
Yeah.
upward, and that's part of your path is hiring someone.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have to make decisions. You're like, oh, I gotta train them, you know, like.
But the more you make decision, the
Yeah.
more you will have problem too.
But then you get better at it, you know, and like
But
there's
the more
only
you have problem, like
there's only a finite amount of problems.
Mhm.
right.
Like if there is infinite number of problems, I would be like, shoo,
Mm.
maybe we
Oh,
are in hell.
I need to go lay down
Okay.
in that soft pillow.
But like I mean, in his line of work, in my line of work,
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's not infinite problems. Like there's like a set of problems, and once you've seen all of those problems,
Yeah.
you know
learn
what
how
to
to manage.
you know what to do the next
yeah.
time.
Mhm.
You know, like you're like, oh, what did we do last time? And you're like, oh, don't you remember we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
So that comes with
Okay.
experience,
Right.
right?
So it's still a good sign.
Yes.
It's still a good sign because now you see problem, but now it's also a sign that you're going to the next level.
You're getting
Because
stronger.
problems
right?
don't look like problems the way they're looking at it. You're looking at
Yeah, like
see?
like at this
Right,
stage with
Right.
with Delroy,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yes.
he has no fear because he's like, oh, I've already seen all of them.
Right.
You know, that's the
Microphone
thing that's,
not working.
yeah,
or-
oh yeah, that's if people
feedback.
see that, you know. See, that's again when the microphone cord dropped out when I was performing, I had to think quick.
Mhm.
He,
So boom,
he
I
grabbed Brandon's. You
It's
know?
mic
Right.
and do my little part, and then by the time he's singing, then I was able to plug it back in.
Boom.
Right.
So now I
Mhm.
didn't skip a beat because, and
Mm-hmm.
then people thought, oh my gosh, that is so cool, without realizing,
Mhm.
yeah, I had to think quick. in
That,
order
that,
to-
that was called a fuck up.
yeah. It was, right? So the chord came out and I just improvised and grabbed his microphone, did my part, and boom.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm back on.
Yeah, like so like that's the thing is
Yeah.
like you become confident
Yeah.
the more problems that you've faced.
Mhm.
I know it sounds weird.
Mhm. Mhm.
It sounds weird.
Yeah, you
It's like so get out there, get into some problems. Get
No.
thrown into jail.
Don't, no, no.
No, try it,
no,
dude. I
no.
encourage it. I encourage
No.
it because you know what you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do that.
Don't do
again.
that.
Right.
Okay, I was about to say something, but okay. Yeah. Yeah. Things have to
I
happen.
mean, you're gonna learn. Like, so how do you learn?
Well,
Sometimes, like a lot of times, you gotta learn the hard way,
yeah,
man.
unfortunately. that's
You gotta get
something.
burned, you know,
Yeah.
and like so, get thrown in jail, dude. See what happens.
Yeah.
Guarantee you're gonna be like, I
I
ain't going there
back
again.
in there again.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Not going back.
But it's also good to have people who have experience. They've done the mistake, and you
They
ask
can give you
them.
advice.
Yeah.
You know, advice is very good. Having mentors is very good because like they'll steer you out of jail. You know,
Mhm.
like they'll be like,
Mm.
don't do that.
Mhm.
And you're like, why not? Well, because I went to jail. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so they're trying to help you,
Mhm.
but you still need to make your own fuck ups.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, but that's how we learn, right? We learn from those. As long as with that, hopefully we don't make big mess up, right? And they're kind of minimal, right? But you are gonna make some mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's okay. They're
We're not
they're-
perfect.
Yeah. Again, I know I'm not perfect, and I tell people that I'm not perfect. I'm just like you. I'm gonna mess up. Yeah, I do all these things. So quit pretending like, oh my gosh, you're so perfect. No, you're not. You're not
Mhm.
perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I mess up. I might mess up when I get out, but at least I'm aware of it.
Mhm.
That's the difference. I'm aware of it
Well,
and
well,
accept it
and
and
like
deal with it.
in this chapter, it even talks about like Shoshin, you know, is like
Yeah.
a Buddhist term, you know, is like the beginner's mind,
Yeah,
right? Is like, so it's like versus the expert's mind,
yeah,
you know, like, so it's like, you know, who's more open-minded, the beginner or the expert?
Oh, the expert, of course.
Open-minded, not like wisdom, you know, not who has more wisdom. So like
Okay.
the expert could be perceived that they have more wisdom
mm-hmm,
than the beginner,
mm-hmm.
but the beginner is more
More
open.
open. To
Because he can
receive.
take anything.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's like basically if you compare like a kid
To
to
an adult.
like
Yeah.
someone like 80 years old.
Right,
80 years old could be very stubborn,
right.
but if you teach something to a kid, he will be open to anything.
Yeah, like,
That's
they're-
right.
like, they can absorb it all, and like
Right.
so it's like, if you can, again, this is another trick to the suppression of the ego, is to try and shift yourself to the beginner's mind and say, I don't really know anything.
Exactly.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, so like
Yeah.
that's what Delroy is saying. He's
Yeah.
like, well, I fucking work on my craft every
Mhm.
day,
Every day, yeah.
and I still don't say that I know it all.
That's
but
right.
but someone else is saying, like, they don't work as hard as he does,
Right.
and he's like, you know it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I to stop you from that? So what I do, I let you go to jail. I let you fall down and learn that lesson. I will not take that away from you, because once you don't listen and you go do it, now guess what? Life is a teacher. What are you gonna say now? Oh, is he the thing? Oh, life is this and that. No, because you weren't listening. Right? You were not listening. Learn from it. That you don't go into jail. Because Bubba, we talk about it now.
No,
Bubba
we
is
don't
coming.
need to go into Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba.
but,
Okay,
but,
we're gonna
but,
leave Bubba today.
but yeah, like,
you know, but you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
yeah, we'll leave Bubba. We'll leave Bubba today.
yeah, I mean, decision making is a big deal, man. It's like, so if you can learn from others, great. You know, like I always like to say, like, to my employees, I'm like, I don't mind if you guys make mistakes, but when it costs me money, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, you know, but like it happens.
But it happens.
It
and
happens. And
as much as he doesn't like it, it's just a part of what happens when.
yeah, I mean, I always go, can we get better? You know, like whatever happened, like, man, I can tell you guys a whole bunch of stories, but it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It happens, and like, I could be frustrated, I could be angry, right? I could, you know, I'm entitled to that, right? But I just go, okay, well, what did we learn?
Mm-hmm. It's always learning.
I think it's a really good question to ask. You know.
What did we learn?
Yeah.
But it's hard, like, I mean, as the business owner, and you're like, why did I even do that deal? We just lost money doing the deal. Like, if we wouldn't have done the deal, then we would have been better off financially.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Right.
Say it.
however,
Say
you
it.
wouldn't have learned the lesson.
Thank you.
You wouldn't have learned the lesson. So it's
There
like,
you go.
so you gotta look at it as like, so you're like, oh, it was a financial loss.
Right.
Correct.
But it is.
Or was it an investment?
Right. Because it could be also I can see it as an expensive lesson. If that costs you a lot of money.
Well,
that mistake.
I consider that an investment.
Yeah.
Right.
So you said it was expensive, so you paid for that lesson.
Mhm,
So it was an investment.
Mhm.
Is because like now we learned,
Mm-hmm. When I go that direction.
you know, now we're not gonna do that next time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
And so, you know, so yeah, I mean, you know, but once you've seen, like, you know, all the variables, you're good. You're okay with it, you know, and you know, then you become calm. You become like, you know, you're gonna show up any day, and like people are flipping out, and you're walking like you're walking on water, and they're like,
Yep.
damn,
Easy peasy.
what's
You-
with
you-
Delroy?
Yeah, exactly. You can see you can see the solution to the problem that is so difficult for those who are in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again,
Because they haven't seen it.
they haven't seen.
They
it.
haven't seen that problem.
Mhm.
But this guy, 25
Yeah,
years deep,
yeah.
he's seen it all.
Seen
And
it
so, so what's going on? Oh,
Click, 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 click.
don't like,
Yeah.
and everyone's
Mhm,
freaking
mhm,
out.
mhm.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
we're all gonna die.
Mhm.
And like Delroy's just like,
Yeah.
Click,
Yeah.
click, click, click. No, I think we're all gonna live.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
And,
Again.
and so that
Experience.
that's the thing, is like, so like you gotta build up that experience to get the confidence
Yeah.
to like separate from the rest of the tribe, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's like, I was reading this the other day. It's like, so we were like meant to be in tribes so that we can learn to get out of the tribe. It's very bizarre.
Sorry, say that again.
I know it's very bizarre. So we're meant to be in tribes. Like we are born into a tribe, right? Like whether it's your community or your family or your village, whatever it may be, right? And so you're in this tribe.
Yeah.
Okay. And the whole point is to get out of the tribe. It's a weird thing, man. It's a weird thing. Like so it's like, well, that's your tribe. It's like, but the tribe is helping me get out of this tribe and move into a new tribe.
Oh, so it's like basically like a eagle mother. They will raise all those eagles,
and then they
have to live all together.
That's right.
But one day,
that's right,
the bird would just fly
they're
by
gone.
They're gone, and they're gone to forge their own tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, as human beings, we've been doing.
But like the programming that has been cast upon us is like, no, stay in your tribe and follow like a sheep, you know, and don't ever think that you're different.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, my friend, is programming,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's what we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, you know, we're in essence trying to like kind of just raise that awareness, like, hey, y'all are being programmed, like you can do different.
Well, this is good for you, but this is it could be a danger for the government.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because they're gonna be like, hey, we try to.
But they created the rule. They
people.
created the rules, and so like they
Yeah.
created corporations, and they created corporate tax versus personal tax, and so we're just playing by the rules.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, so everybody knows, or maybe they don't, that
I'm gonna go with it.
corporate tax, you only pay tax on your earnings.
While you, the people who work hard, we're gonna tax the heck out of you.
You get taxed no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So a corporation, as long as you can pay all your bills, you can pay salaries, and like the whole game is to like run up your expenses so that like you don't have to pay tax at the end of the year. This isn't new information.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around for years.
Yeah,
Years,
I mean, like,
years.
like look up Robert Kiyosaki. You know, like he's a great teacher. You know, and he's just like, well, if you have like a gigantic tax burden, and if you have a gigantic corporate tax burden at the end of the year that you're looking at, just buy a piece of property and wipe that out. Wipe out your gain, and then you just bought an asset that you can then rent out and earn more income.
But don't worry, you might defer it, but when you sell it, we're coming to get our piece.
But like the cool thing with like the corporation is that like then you can just spin family members into it, and like you can phase yourself out as like a majority shareholder and then put them as the majority shareholder, and then like it's like a transfer of ownership, and so like the corporation just continues to accumulate assets, and it just goes on for generations. Like, I mean, that's just the rules that they created, and so like I guess like in closing, you know, it's like you should probably like know the rules of the game that you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play the game if you don't know the rules. Study the rules so you know how the game is played.
True.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't hate the player, hate the
And
game.
Noah's like, damn.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking like instead of checking the cards, I should check the manual
Yes.
with all the rules. That,
You got
to
it to
understand
know
that
how to
game, you know?
use the machinery that you
Mhm.
want to use.
I mean, like before you go to the craps table and you're gonna throw dice, like you should probably like read up on how the game works.
Right.
Like just don't throw the dice and be like, oh, I hit a 7, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you just lost.
Yeah,
You're like, what?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
watch professional and be surrounded by
People,
people, who
Mentors.
there's real- yeah.
mentors.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
fire.
sure, man.
That's part of it.
Yeah, it's all part of the deal, you know. It's like, so again, like this poor girl, this poor Sarah, man. I feel, I created her,
Mhm.
but I feel bad for her, man.
Yeah.
It's like, and I feel like she's symbolic of like
A
most of.
lot of people out there
Yeah.
that have their family not believing in them. You know, you start getting doubts that you can't do it. Yeah, I love them. Firewood. Put it in my fire so I can make a bonfire.
But it's hard, man, you know, and like so like I think like that analogy of like the eagle is a really good analogy. You know, it's just like, you know,
Well-
fly, bird, fly.
Well,
you know?
again, human
Mm.
beings do the same thing. You know, my mom left Jamaica, and started, had to fly and had to do her own thing, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you have kids, and your kids go, oh, I'm going to go to Australia, and they go to different parts of the world, and again, they're flying off to create
Mhm.
their own little culture. So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, so like, like, don't feel like you're like hurting anybody.
Mhm.
It's like, I think like that's like also a part of it is like, oh well, if I leave the tribe, what will they think of me?
Mhm.
It's like, well, if they really love you, they'll be supportive.
Mhm.
and when you return back, they'll throw a party
Yeah.
Yeah.
and welcome you back, because now you're going to bring back new knowledge,
True.
new ideas
Mhm.
to the tribe. But if the tribe is always there, then you don't learn, you don't grow to that more than where you are. So going
Yeah.
out of it and coming back, you bring new idea, fresh new things, and now we can have water come from here. You can dig a trench and lead it into the village. So you have to leave to gain the knowledge, right?
So you need to leave the tribe to grow. Also.
Yes.
Mm.
You can-
But like again, you're gonna be getting shot at.
Yeah.
It's like, so like you're not in your protective bubble, right? Where it's like comfort, and
But you're getting shot for both sides now,
Yeah,
like from the
that's right.
outside world
Yes,
and
right.
from your own tribe.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's where it's like, that's where it gets like really challenging.
Yeah.
And like that's where you can see it's really easy just to fall back into,
Back into the tribe.
Yeah,
okay.
you can, like, let's say if I'm walking out of the tribe and then I have like all those people like
Yeah.
even your own tribe, you're just
Yeah.
like, what, you know what?
Hmm.
It's very easy to say like, you know what, fuck that, let me go back in, which is the comfort zone basically.
Right.
You're
Yep.
going back in the comfort zone.
Yeah. And like that's really is like, well, it's not a good time,
There's never
Not a
ever
good time for what?
to do your own venture. It's like, you're like, well, when is like,
When's a good time?
and I'm just
Oh,
like, there's
okay.
never a good time.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, so that's the thing is like, well, when do you leave the tribe? And it's like, well,
When you feel like you need to leave the tribe.
yeah.
You never know. It's never a good time.
Right.
And again, like, is like, you're like, oh, it has to be perfect. It's like, well,
Nope. It's got to have some rough edges.
but and again, like, it's like, what are we building here? Like, this is our online course, right?
Mhm.
So like, I'm posting all of these on right now. If you go to walkgood.biz and
Yeah.
you click on
Yeah, yeah,
course, like, they're all there. But what's going to happen is, like, once we've done all 13 chapters,
Yeah.
then I'm going to take them all down,
And then
right? And then we're going to put it into an online course like Scrap University.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was saying, like, then we'll chop it up into bite-sized lessons.
Great.
Because, like, I've sent our podcast to, like, friends and family.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I watched, like, half an hour and it was too much. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you. Like, so, like, nobody's watching this whole thing. So
No,
we have
no.
to
It's
chop
too
it
much.
in-
Yeah.
Right.
we gotta chop it into lessons.
Like smaller.
Small, like,
Yeah.
like so like the lessons are gonna be like probably like 2 to 5 minute lessons,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then there's gonna be like a question, like, what did you learn? Oh, okay,
Right.
and then they click next, and then it's another video.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you learn? Oh yeah, I learned this.
Right.
Next.
Right.
And I understand that, because even when I'm looking at some stuff on the news feed and stuff like that, the article's so long, but, oh man, it's so much. I just try to get the gist. Okay, good. I know
You
it.
want to get the core of it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, but it's so long, and I scroll. Oh my gosh, it's forever. So human beings, they're short.
Are undisciplined.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
2 to 5 minutes is good.
Mhm.
They can absorb that, and yeah, okay.
Mhm.
But
Because I've already done it. I already have an online course
Yeah.
that is still making lots of dough.
Yeah.
And it works because it's only 2-minute lessons. People are like, man, your lessons are like. Some people are like, oh, I want more. I'm like, well, you can call my consulting business, and I'll do consulting at $400 an hour if you
Mhm.
want. Oh, okay, cool. That was like this
Mhm.
guy
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
this New York guy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, no problem. I'll give you a deal.
What's the accent? The New York accent again?
Hey, look, my fucking buddies, they're telling me about the scrap business, right? I don't fucking know shit about the scrap business.
hey, Andrew Dice Clay, hey.
And so like, I just thought the guy was cool. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what, dude, like, I'll give you a deal. Like, he was gonna buy it for $9.99 on
Yeah.
our website, and I
Yeah.
go, you know what, like, I'll give it to you for like $600, right? He's like, what if I want to know more? I'm like, well, then we move into our consulting business.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, what's that like? I'm like, well, and I just, you know, like, I just go, look, you know, it's like $200 an hour. I didn't hit him with the full 400. I was like, yeah, like $200 an hour. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, I'll send you an email, all right? And like he did email right away.
Yeah.
Right away, he emailed, you know. I was like, cool, man.